There we go. I turned it off. I forgot to turn it back on.
What'd you turn off?
The names, who everybody is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I turned it off when I do my comic book streams, when it's just me and a comic book.
I thought somebody was suffering from penis envy.
We're all jealous of your long box, John. We're all jealous.
So everybody's quite. Like I say, Vaughn, I don't know what to talk about because I didn't see Spider-Man and I didn't see Green Lantern. So
I saw Lantern, so you didn't have to.
I thought it was okay, Vaughn. I thought it was okay. You know. It was
Did you like the scene where we have a really awkward sex scene between Hal Jordan?
No,
yeah.
I did. Also,
we're not Hal Jordan. I'm sorry, John.
Your camera's a little bit too far to the left.
Hold on.
Okay.
No, I just felt like when I was watching it, the little bit of it I watched, because I just gave it like 10 minutes. That's all I could take. It just felt dry. Yeah. Like it was trying to be, I know everyone's saying true detective. But it also felt like, I think you said earlier, like a Yellowstone, a generic Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Dry and generic.
It felt like it wanted to be something other than a Green Lantern ship. And it's a fucking Green Lantern ship.
Like literally you could take like you could put the Question and Huntress as the characters in this show and the plot would basically be the same.
Oh, you could swap anything and it would change nothing.
Yeah. It could be Nightwing and Starfire come to this town in such
it would make no difference.
You know, like they could, like literally, the aliens could be runaway Tamaranians, and they gotta suss them out or whatever. Like,
that'd be a better show.
Probably.
I don't know. Like I said, I'll wait to see if other people like it. Because now I'm going to go see Spider-Man. I'll probably go Saturday night because everybody.
I liked it.
If I have time, I will go see it because I definitely want to. I non-stop working. Got to give myself time to actually fucking enjoy life.
Bro, you're like a rock star. You're touring.
And the tours never end. When it's not on physical tours, it's online tour. And when it's not that, it's working between the tours. But you know what? I can't complain.
Speaking of tours, buy Vaughn's book, please.
And my book.
Yeah.
I love our book.
It's my
It's on his campaign.
We're going to chill. Let's chill.
Yeah. We all got campaigns. Everybody buy my book.
I mean, I don't have like an active one.
All right, I got the Heroic Tales Christmas special still King Fu available.
My next one is until October, and I don't start the pre-launch until September 1st. That's gonna be the launch of the Product Access pre-launch. So I'm right before I start chilling. So,
John.
Yeah.
I thought I lost these in the move, but I found like the first 2 pages of the book.
Yes, you switched. You drew the pages and then you drew digital. I was looking for this. So Vaughn, you were saying for Crisis on Independent Earths to make like a. So we're working on like a PDF to send out.
Yeah, you need something to send out to people.
So we were brainstorming this. This is a rough draft. So this is the story set up. Can I make it bigger? Yeah. Division Zero exists outside of time and space. They are taken by surprise as universes are being snuffed out like candles on a birthday cake. They make a desperate gamble to create an Aleph, a point where all time and space converge. I got to change that to intersect. They need to draw the attention of heroes from all realities. Only their combined power can stand up to the antithesis. So you're set up. Avoid using these devices in your story. No portals, prophetic dreams, physical messages, or wise old men with knowledge of the antithesis. Be creative. Basic beats. Your character notices something strange about your world. They investigate a struggle. They arrive at the intersect. What is the intersect? There should be something personal in your world. What does it say about your character's story? What does it say about your character's world and story? And it's a way to build intrigue that your characters can... yeah, this is awkward. We need to fix this. Get out there and make something fun and neat. So submit the script in the spirit of the overall story. Don't try to purposely break things. And then length is 3 to 5 pages. The shorter, the better. No fighting, online drama. This project is purely about positivity and fun. And try to keep the story family friendly, PG-13. Even if your IP is more adult, think of it as a TV commercial that will be seen by all audiences. And no public domain characters. I'm just afraid of getting like a cease and desist letter later on. And
So does that mean Brian can't?
who's Brian?
Brian Christgau.
What-
He is Six Gun Gorilla, so can he not do that?
We got to check up. Yeah, Six Gun Gorilla though. He published it, has it out, and nobody sued him, so that's fine. Like I don't want people to like, Conan or John Carter where there's still a chance of a lawsuit.
Well, I guess let's just put this this fully drawn Zorro.
Oh, Zorro. No Zorro. No Zorro.
Bobby asked a good question. We could talk about the length submission. What's the accepted girth submission?
Well,
All submissions have to be 7 inches long, 3 inches across.
well, Vaughn made it in, so the girth isn't really have been a big deal.
Oh!
Doesn't apply to me, but
There you go. Check out.
Yeah, you said 3 to 5. I'm aiming for 3. I really like having restrictions when trying to do story.
I'm glad you said that.
I like the challenge.
Because originally I said 3 pages because I thought people would be more willing to do it with less. Like okay, I could do that. That's not a lot of work. But overwhelmingly, people told me I was wrong. So we compromised at 3 to 5, and I did mine in 3 pages just to show people it could be done. You know what I mean? Like, but I agree with you.
Yeah, people don't like borders when they're trying to create. I think that's.
I
not the best attitude.
Yeah,
That's
plus
why
in my experience, when you do these submission things, like when you have pages, a lot of people just do the max.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like more does not equal better, So it's like,
right.
If the assignment is 3, figuring out what the best for 3 is, or
Right.
whatever parameters you have. Like
Somebody submitted me a 6-page, and I said just trim the fat, and then they came back the next day with 5 pages, and they said, you know what, it's actually better now. I said, yeah, just trim the fat, and the funny thing is what I'm doing 2 pitches, and one of them, the guy I work with, I'm being quiet about it, is we don't need that. Like, just he was telling me, the artist, make it smaller. We trimmed it, made it smaller, and he was right. So yeah, it's hard to judge your own stuff. So that's why Aaron Sparrow graciously offered his skills as an editor and his experience. So all pitches are going through me, and if I approve them, I've been sending them to Aaron, and then Aaron has been reaching out to people individually and being like, he just intrinsically understood what I was going for, and I'm so glad because this got so big. I don't know if I could handle all this by myself. But
yeah. I mean,
the villain in Tale of the Dunce Whisperer. John, I know you've read it before, so
I got it right here. Once I saw you Dr. Ling pictures, I put it at the bottom of my pile.
We got to talk about that later.
I was hanging out with John, and John's like, dude, I don't think Bats understands the point of this book. I'm like, I don't think understand. Bats is just fucking with you. Like,
it's like, when you're like, you're joking around, you're like, this is too obvious, right? And every time I'm like, I make it more
I'm
obvious.
hanging with John at this convention, and John's like, I don't think your pal Bats is not understanding the point of the. Right?
I was doing it intentional. You just got done telling people no portals, and I just wrote a portal story.
I've been trying to be as nice as possible and not hurt anybody's feelings. And Bat Sauce completely hook, line, and sinker tricked me because he was putting in the worst pitches in the world, and I'm trying not to hurt his feelings. And then,
So John, here's my pitch. This guy is dreaming, and in this dream, this old man comes up to him and says he is needed elsewhere. And so he does this, and a portal opens, and they goes through, and it's like this hub of like all these other portals. Okay,
right.
And he goes through another portal.
Here's the funny thing: Phil Diaz has a dream, a portal, and an old man, but it works. Because first off, I read his stuff, so I know it's in continuity. But like a few people were like, "How could I do this without?" I was like, "Dude, you write comic books. Like you could literally do anything."
All right. Here's how I would do it. So in my kind of thing, I have this character called the Caretaker. He's basically kind of like an old man, like wide brim hat. He has this lantern, and when he travels, it's through mists appear, and so the way he goes through multiverse is you walk through the mist, and that's the bridge. So it's like you're walking through a mist. You walk through one dimension, and the other end, you enter the mist. You're on the other side. It's a portal with extra steps, but it looks cooler.
You see, you got it. Like I said to one guy, ultimately it's a portal, but you're disguising the portal. The intersect is a portal, but we just can't have and your characters have no knowledge of what's going on because my God, I don't want to pollute your world. You know what I mean? Like, I'm such an anal retentive continuity person. If I joined a crossover and your guys crossed over into my world, it would have to be part of my continuity. You know what I mean? And I would have to accept. So,
but John, I have this character that has like this fourth dimensional textbook that literally will tell him anything he needs to know. And this character just spent 5 hours reading the entirety of the crossover before even entering the crossover. He's totally original. Please don't steal it.
You're like the third guy who has pretty much that same character.
Dude, it's like the kid on the playground, that the dickhead kid that's like, I have every power.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing with my trolls. It's like I just do absurdity, and I'm like,
when you
in my head, I'm like, this is absurd, and then somebody's like, no, I've heard this before. I mean, like right off the bat,
John, you're the to be fair, you have a book
But my character, he's Pogo.
Guys, let Bat Swords finish.
This is the pitch, right? So I go pitch. Dr. Ling has a disappointed father that receives a message, and he just got done. Like, guys, no message. And passes it to his son. The message: find the portal, save the world. The father explains that this is his chance for his father to no longer be disappointed in him. Problem is, the portal opens in the middle of New York City, and Dr. Ling is in San Diego. The story ends with Dr. Ling on a plane to Newark. You're left wondering if Dr. Ling will make it to the portal before it closes, or will he disappoint his father again?
But the thing is, that I know you were being over the top and ridiculous, but it was well written enough that I thought you. So I didn't want to hurt your feelings, but I was like, Bat Sauce, does this guy get what I know he writes English,
When
but
you
does he
troll so
understand?
hard, you accidentally lay down some genius.
Now that you're explaining it, now that you're
I'm going to see this made now.
no, now that
Just
you're
as a
explaining it,
spoof.
yeah, Woodrow.
All right, Meemlord said he thought you was
too
serious.
hard, sir. You trolled too hard.
No. Bless Woodrow. He messages me after like pitch number 3 because I start numbering the pitches because I'm like, I'm just getting pitch number 20. And Woodrow's like, hey man, you want to hop on Discord? We can like chat and like try to figure this out. I'm like, dude, I can't keep this up.
Oh my god.
Like, Woodrow, I'm trolling, dude.
I'm like,
I had people messaging me, I want to leave the group chat. That's when I said something.
That's when I was like, okay, I gotta stop. All right.
I felt.
So John, I have this character called Pogo Man, where every time he's on a pogo stick, he leaves a portal in his way.
There you go. But I'm kind of glad you did it in a way because it proved to me that I could deal with the retard very nice. Because I was like, oh my God, he just doesn't get. I was so relieved that you said it was a troll, though, because I was like, I'm taking this novel that you wrote and I'm throwing it right in a wood chipper because if this guy gets, and now I'm like, okay, it's funny. Hook, line, and sinker, you got me.
Well, so right after this, you said no portals. And I'm like, fine, no portals. Like, Dr. Ling is
No portals. Oh God, I have to make a meme now.
Pitch number 2. Dr. Ling is working at his father's hospital, like usual, in Little Mexico. All of a sudden, a bus of sick patients arrive needing immediate assistance. Upon investigation, he finds a scroll hidden in a black woman's weave. The scroll reads, "Find the rift, save the world."
That one really made me wonder about you.
Then a super villain breaks into the hospital. It's the evil gangbanger El Rifterino. He plays a mariachi song in a brick.
John, I just tagged you on Twitter.
Dr. Ling calls his father. What does the father say? Does the father believe Dr. Ling's story? Perfect hit cliffhanger.
Yeah, I would.
John, I tagged you. Tagged on Twitter.
That is the one that really made me wonder about you. I was like, what?
Black woman's weed.
In a black woman's weed.
Surely. No.
But I was like, I don't know. His book is kind of funny, so I don't know.
Your response too. You're like, no, find the portal. Did you watch the video? What are you like? What's going on here? And I go, a rift is completely different. But fine, I'll figure something out.
Can I have a gun that shoots old men instead of portals?
Who shoots at old men or shoots out old men?
That's right.
Out old men.
That's
of a
right.
portal gun, it's an old man gun.
Yeah. That's funny that you said a rift is totally different. I was like, oh,
it's completely different. I don't know what I said, but I was like,
retarded.
The portal rift community is going to be very upset with this, John.
a rift is totally different. And I was waiting for the next one to be a crevice opens.
What about a wrinkle? What about a wrinkle in space and time?
A cosmic doorway.
Like I said, I'm glad you did that because that's what stopped. Because again, people are like ears are burning, but a lot of people will go. The very first pitch I got, and I'm not naming names, was, "Come on, guys, a rift opened. Come on, guys, we gotta get the Zero Agents and save the universe from the antithesis. Jump in the portal."
Okay. No, I legit actually have a good one right now. So, hero person is walking along, and then they see a phone booth. Like, wait, phone booths haven't existed for like 20 years. What the heck is that? So they walk into the phone booth and they go inside it. It instantly closes, and everything just kind of goes dark for a second. And then when it comes back in, they're in the proper universe.
That kind of, but there's got to be some sort of obstacle in the way. You know what I mean? You know, like I said, I don't want to spoil it, but like one guy. One of the like in his world, he has a guy who wants to destroy the universe. So that villain got to the intersect first, and he's preventing people from getting there. One of the pitches is they think that whoever's going to touch it dies. So the super team is actually fighting amongst themselves to be the one to sacrifice themselves. I thought that was a unique spin.
They're fighting. It's like a port key from Harry Potter, where
right? They don't know where it's going to go.
The world.
One guy is telling his family like goodbye everybody, like he's basically it's his last will and testament. I thought that was a really really good one. And then one of the more humorous ones that there's a monster and it's inside so he's like jumping into the monster's mouth and stuff. There's a lot of really clever and funny ones. There's a lot of serious ones. Heather Vele, her world is no supers. So I really didn't want to contaminate her world. So we both worked together to come up with one that's, I think it tells everything we need to know about her world, the plot, the characters, the stakes, and it doesn't mess up her world at all. I thought that was really, really good. Memes is pretty good. He's a spacefaring character, Meme Lord Woodrow. A couple of guys, like, they will get mad at me. Dude, and then after when they were done, they're like, oh, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. So,
first thing I did, because I wanted to know the parameters so I could, because I have like the first 9 issues written, I have like a whole world. So I'm like, what are the parameters so I know where to set it?
Right.
If we're doing the whole, because Crisis on Infinite Earths, everyone, I'm kind of confused in the logistics of it. John,
we'll talk in private because I don't want to spoil the ending.
Okay.
But you asked a lot of good questions when we were hanging out together.
I want to know the parameters. That way, I not only just for you, but also once I know this, and this, then I could go, okay, these characters, this universe, here's a scenario. Aaron and I have already talked.
Also,
I'm already.
I came up with a new
Two-Face-
ending that I asked Aaron because it involved his characters. So things have changed since we talked. So we'll talk in private because
Yeah, Two-Face, I think is going to.
one guy killed off all of his characters, and then I said, "Why are you killing off all your characters? When they get to your comic, they're going to be confused that your characters." And he goes, "Oh, you're not just going to reset them all?" I was like, "No, like, you know." So don't kill off your characters, guys. Don't
What do
do
you mean
original
the dead
characters
characters are
and
dead?
jawbreakers.
What if
You know, if you have a throwaway character that you want to kill, that's a different story. Who's it? Jeffrey Toobin?
I don't know.
Is Bobby being Bobby again?
Probably.
But
Jeffrey
that's
Toobin.
oh, Emily's here. I haven't seen Emily in a while. How you doing? Caffeinated Wolf. That's Andy.
Yeah. By the
Yeah,
way,
I-
on my campaign right now, there are Kanan White stickers, and there's one by Kanan White that features Galvanite and Arcstream from Rippaverse. So if you want that sticker, it's going to be limited edition on my campaign. Just $6.
I'm writing the Go Getters story. Is going to debut the Go Getter and debuting my team. She's literally joining the world's greatest superhero team, and it's kind of funny because Go Getter is shy, naive, a little clumsy. So I'm working on that. So you're going to get a debut of a team and the debut of the Go Getter. So I think that's a cool way to introduce the team by introducing a new character. He loves speedsters, so the Go Getter is my speedster, a clumsy speedster, ladies and gentlemen. Who's I just like that weakness. I'll let you all Google that. I'm not Googling anything you recommend. I learned already not to trust you, Bobby. A few people I asked, like Project Analysis, he says I'm not into the multiverse. Fair enough. It's not a
No
multiverse.
multiverse, no do-overs. That's what Project Paul always says.
Right. I get that. Paul's invited. I had to invite Paul. He's a good guy, but you know. And
Yeah.
I invited Rippaverse, and they said no crossovers, which it wasn't a crossover.
Now, to me, John, the appropriate response is to do a 5-hour live stream whining about Rippaverse. That to me is the appropriate
Nope.
response.
But
I think.
nope, not going to
What do you
do it.
mean? Is that not how we? I thought that was the.
I mean,
correct way
how
to
else
do
are
it.
you gonna get the super chats?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Eric July bad.
No drama, Vaughn. No drama.
Oh,
No,
right.
no fighting.
I'm gonna talk about Dr. Ling again. All right.
Yeah, tell me more about Dr. Ling while I get a soda.
Let's see.
No, not Dr. Lee.
So
Dr.
pitch
Zayas,
number
Dr. Zayas.
Does his son ultimately disappoint him though? That's what we all want to know.
It's pitch number 3. Dr. Ling has a rash. So he's not a dermatologist. He still decides to figure out what is wrong with him. He discovers that the rash has some symptoms not seen on Earth before. The rash is itchy, and he begins to hallucinate. Somebody starts speaking to him, but when he tries to focus in on who it is, he wakes up and sees his father. Dr. Ling really fell asleep on the job and was fired. His father looks down on him, disappointed. That's the whole pitch.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
fun.
retarded.
Like I said, I don't want to spoil the ending, but it's not a multiverse. It's not really a crossover. You'll understand when you read it because I wanted to keep it so that
It was all a dream.
no, it's not a dream. It's in your continuity, but you don't have to reference it. But the thing is, if you make a crossover with this many people, and then somebody drops out at the last minute, somebody has a fight, they pull their character, then I got to redraw and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I made it in such a way that it's like Legos. I could take your Lego piece out. Vaughn, we'll talk privately because I don't want to. It still is a story, even though this is promotional. And like Aaron Sparrow said, this is all promotional material, so it's tax deductible for your comic book businesses. Everything that you do for this is tax deductible. Never understood snubbing crossovers. I kind of don't like crossovers, but they're fun.
I'm actually kind of with Twitless on
One of
this one.
this is to be
Everyone
fun.
does want to see their action figures matched together.
This is the thing. It's business and it's fun, but it's not going to muddy my like my whole thing is
Right.
like that was a main thing with me. It's like, okay, how do I do this? And that's why I ask all these pointed questions. A, so I can write, and B, so I know how do I comfortably do this where I don't mess up what I've got going on and still have fun?
Right, right. And those are good questions. And this was designed in a way not to muddy. Like Heather Valley, I didn't want to contaminate her world. I like her world, and it's a non-superhero world. So and then there's other guys who have high superhero worlds. They don't care if a portal opens and my guys jump out, stuff like that. But that's the first thing. Literally, that's the first thing most people thought of. So don't do it. I think it's pretty good. We got some really clever ones. And Andrew, if some reason ArcStream wants to join in, I know Eric July doesn't want to do crossovers, and I respect that.
I mean, hell, Invincible entered the Marvel Universe, interacting with
Right.
Spider-Man.
Through a portal.
Yeah. A portal. Literally, the villain creates portals. Angstrom Levy.
Yeah.
John Longbox is that's John Longbox's biggest antagonist. It's literally a guy who creates portals.
I like Marvel. Yeah, the Amalgam War was really good. Did you guys all read those, right?
Read what?
Especially me. What does that mean? Why am I especially? I speaker. I especially am not paying taxes, or I especially am not.
I don't care who the IRS sends me. I'm not paying taxes.
Did you guys read the Amalgam books from the 90s? I really liked Bruce Wayne, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Did you read that one? That was my
I
favorite.
think most people just remember Darkclaw from it.
Darkclaw is the one everybody remembers. How you doing? Hale? I pay taxes. Even jokers are afraid of the IRS. Come on, Trump. You said you were going to get rid of the IRS. You said do it. If you get rid of the IRS, even the liberals are going to like you. Because even the liberals pretend to like taxes, but they don't want to pay them. Have we asked Dave Sim? Bill Williams is friends with Bill Willingham and Dave Sim, and he said he was going to ask them. I haven't heard them yet, but my holy grail is Bill Willingham. He's one of my personal favorite comic book creators and inspirations for my comic. We need a joke about speedsters running from taxes. So you put tax on the ground and they jump it over.
By the way, guys, we are Bats and I are 3 backers away from 100. Just putting that out there.
Buy Bond's book. Buy Bond's book.
Yeah, mine specific. No, his too. His is good.
Oh, don't buy Bat's book.
No, do it. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, if you
Buy
don't
Bat's
want a
book.
high quality story, sure, don't buy it, huh?
His book is fully colored, by the way. It's being lettered. He's actually a little bit ahead of me.
I'm
And his
actually
book is-
allergic to quality because Bat's book is such high quality. It would literally get me into season.
It's only
I can't
if you
buy it.
even just get digitals, it's $5 each digital. So,
Yeah, I got both your books. Of course, I got both your books.
oh, awesome. Did you get main covers or did you get?
Yeah, I got the 8 cover. I got to say, you could only, Bobby. I contacted Dave Sim and yes, there's a phone number that you can find, but I'm not going to give it to you. And you call it, and there's an answering machine, and then he screens all his phone calls. And I called him to see if he wanted to have a conversation on my channel. Got his answering machine, and I was just like, all right, that was it. About an hour later, I get a call. Hi, this is Dave Sim. It's like, oh my God. We talked for hours. And then I was like, oh, I got to go to bed. We talked for hours, 4 nights in a row,
Wow.
but he didn't want to come on my channel, but he was so cool. But he was one of the first people to be like, Bob canceled. You know what I mean? And to be honest, I don't know if, the truth, because I hear so much that I don't know what to believe.
Damn, that was fast. Someone just backed the 10. He was like, oh, $5 each bet. Just backed. So there we go.
Oh.
We're now 2 backers away from 100.
Ooh.
Well, if we're going to be doing that, I'm throwing out my link.
Yeah, you should. I'll tell you this: the less time I have to spend promoting, the more time I could spend writing this crisis book and doing everything I can to help promote it.
Yeah.
This book should be bigger, but outside of our space, I'm telling you, I know, like Kickstarter group, like John.
Yeah,
gotta go
we
to the stars, man.
Yeah, we got more stuff. We're still in the early stages. We're still in the gather information stages. Yeah. So, guys, whoever just backed Vaughn's book, back mine too, because we do comic conventions together.
Yeah. Yeah, now
That was fun.
Yeah, how did it
I
go?
told-
By the way, how did that go?
It was
So,
fun.
Yeah, to me, it wasn't like it was an easy show. Wasn't anything, terrible or great. It was whatever. Lower the Saturday was pretty it was a decent crowd for how small the show was on Saturday. Sunday it was pretty dead, but the crowd was pretty good. It was worth the trip, and it was also I had fun with friends there. So overall,
Sundays are usually pretty
not
loud,
a huge money maker, but it was I made what I made, and that was good.
Yeah, those cons are the best, where you still make money, but you kind of take it easy a little bit. I enjoy those.
With friends. Now that's probably why I'm going to be traveling for some less. Although I
But still,
do.
with all the money I made, I didn't spend any of it yet. I wanted to recover the cost, pay for the banner and the stand,
Yeah.
and I doubled and a half that. So I was pretty happy.
Yeah, so that's one of the things too. When you fly out for a show, it's oh fuck, I got to pay for the flight. I got to pay. So the pressure's off with a show like the one we did, and so that was kind of nice. It was the pressure was not really.
Me and Vaughn probably spent more money on food than
Yeah. If I remove the food costs, oh my god, I'm killing it.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
Vaughn,
Vaughn,
I was real
Vaughn
nervous.
just couldn't help himself. He had to inhale those hot dogs.
Vaughn was pretty good. He just instantly it was okay, it's 10 o'clock convention, and just started
now
selling.
I got it down to a science,
Right, and I didn't know what to say. I didn't have a pitch, so I just watched him a few times, and he was good because he grabbed the people at first, and then I was just oh, and I have a book too, and then after a while, I started to get my pitch.
Once you get into the rhythm, it's almost become NPC, but it's hey, what's going on? I got a comic. I'd love to tell you about it if you're interested. This is my book, Phenomenova. It's a superhero story set 20 years after World War III. We got issues 1, 2, 3.
I was doing Vaughn's pitch whenever he had to go to the bathroom or something like that. You know what I mean?
He doesn't do your pitch though. Do you notice that?
Well, I wasn't there, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. So, but
Yeah,
I never left the booth. Vaughn is.
I do need to get better at that. Pushing Bats is gonna whine about this until we're both fucking old men.
We're bringing it up.
I didn't sell a copy of his book at Heroes Con.
Skill issue. At any con, actually. There's multiple cons. He's just incapable of selling a novel.
No, but he was good. He was directing people. Then after a while, we were both he was facing this way, I was facing this way. We were getting people.
Wraith Crown is gonna sell well at cons.
And a few times I was showing people my book, and a few people were oh, he kind of looks like Omni-Man. I'm yeah, but he actually loves his wife. He actually loves his kids. I'm oh, really? And that became a selling point. A few people were oh, that's good. I'm so tired of these.
That has been a big selling point. People that are tired of the cynical stuff.
Also,
yeah, I've experienced the same thing with Screecher. Because Screecher is kind of like your guys' stuff, where it's it's marketed more on the positive angle rather than the negative.
Right.
Can you pull up Zactan's comment real quick? So I will say, the Brotherhood, I decided to use that as a Wraith Crown cover to push Wraith Crown, but you can still get both of those. But I will say there is a limited edition preview book of the Brothers cover, the Full Metal Alchemist homage, and there's also a poster for it, 11x17 poster of that. So you can get that as a Wraith Crown cover. You can get it as a preview book for issue 5 in the Wraith Crown on my website for just $10. Or you could get it. You can get the Wraith Crown, the metal cover. There's 4 different ways to get that cover art. So you can get the poster if you want. But get whatever you want because those are all going to be printed limited amount.
Speaking of posters, when I do the Kickstarter for the Indie Crisis, Aaron Sparrow's going to commission a huge poster of all our characters. You know what I mean? That'll be either a stretch goal or an add-on or something like that. So we're going all out. We're thinking of doing.
You're gonna have a stretch goal where you do a bathing suit print or whatever.
Yeah, we should do a swimsuit issue, but here's going to be our twist. It's going to be the creators in the swimsuit. So Bat Sauce in a banana hammock.
No,
yeah, dude.
no,
That'll disappoint. That'll disappoint Mr. Dr.
See,
Ling.
the problem is if you set that as a 10K,
Get both Zactan.
if you set that as a 10K stretch goal, some perv is to instantly plop down $10,000. Congratulations, you got $10,000 5 seconds after the Kickstarter launches.
Oh, cool. Bobby was the first customer to buy a shirt, so thank you, Bobby.
Hell yeah! I will sell for pitch. Even though I've been told otherwise by other people, for me the easiest thing, which is a very common sales tactic, is figuring out your X meets Y, which is it's this meets this, which
Yeah.
to me, like when I hear other people say it, it sounds annoying, but from experience of using this technique, it has worked fantastically.
Yeah, like for me, I do female Batman. And then I also market it like, oh, it's a female Batman set in Ann Arbor, Michigan, because it's like, this is a Michigan-based superhero because I'm doing a lot of conventions in Michigan or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. I mean, I go Dunce Whisperer. I say it's Harry Potter meets Office Space, and I tell you, if they've seen Office Space, they're just like, I love this pitch. I at least get that.
Yeah, and it's also good to have like a question, like for Product Access. Mine is, what if Jason Bourne was a cyborg?
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just people know nothing about your story, so you can.
Yeah,
I
it's very important.
I didn't sell any T-shirts or hoodies or anything like that, but I didn't expect to. Nobody's gonna buy a T-shirt for characters they don't know.
Yeah.
How you doing? What happened to that beautiful head of hair? You cut it. Oh, there it is. Okay.
It's still here. I just turned the sides to the back.
Ladies and
My God
gentlemen,
in heaven.
the quaff has got here. Just look at the seething jealousy in Arkham's eyes right now.
I don't know. He looks like he doesn't really give a damn, and I respect it.
What's going on?
Like, who's this punk ass kid that just showed up on the stream? I don't care. Like,
Andrew, do you have any links or anything like that? Put them in the private chat, and I'll throw them in the public chat.
The man with the second best hair in comics has arrived.
the second best hair in comics. Who's the first? I'm curious.
Me.
Well, he's also on the stream. He's on the.
Oh, is that me? Thank you.
Yeah.
My
It's
mom
Vaughn?
told me. I recorded a short today. My mom goes, "You did not do that with your hair like that." She fucking
Vaughn,
dries my hair.
I love you,
fixed it
bud,
this
but
morning.
man, mullets were out of style when I was in high school. Like,
Is it a mullet at this point? I gotta cut it, dude. I was going to the barber.
I
Yeah.
had a
with the
hairstyle.
guy.
I want to tell you, I had a hairstyle very similar to that, like my junior and senior years of high school, and I was like mocked relentlessly for it. Back
It's
then,
the Comic-Con
that
in the
was
front,
20 years
live
ago.
stream in the back. Comic-Con in the front, live stream in the back.
You know,
Is that
This is
what
why
we're
he needs to
calling
cut his
it?
hair.
I
This is
do
why
need
he
to
needs
cut
to
my,
cut his hair.
so I got a story on this. So I was going to a
Wait.
barber shop, and the barber I'm like,
You ain't never been to a
like,
barber shop.
No, I did. And then he goes, I don't know. I'm like, he goes, what do you want me to do? I'm like, I don't know. So I walked out.
Why am
I'm
I
going
even
to
here?
do a hair salon.
Body.
Because
What haircut
he
should I
just looks
get?
at my hair. He's like, I don't know where to. I got there.
John,
I don't
John,
know.
tell me,
Start
did-
with something simple. Start with I don't know. Take the clippers and do I don't know,
I'm gonna
like
get
a
I'm
4
gonna get a
to a
proper
3
haircut
on the
soon.
sides and the back, and
Yeah.
trim the length on the top.
I think Vaughn would do wonderful with the Prince Valiant haircut.
I
Oh, there
actually
you go.
was
Oh
going to get a
my
haircut
God.
today,
There you
but then
go.
I was like, I need to make sure my campaign is ready to go, so I canceled it. But I'm going to get one.
well, real quick, John, can you answer me? At
Well,
any
what's it-
time at the booth, did Vaughn eat his hair?
If he did, I didn't notice. But
Very
I'm
fucking good.
It's
I'm
ridiculous.
going to give my con partner some props. 2 chicks were throwing themselves at Vaughn.
As they should.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's
I-
a lot of
look,
lesbians at these
One
conferences.
one girl was
Look
like,
at the
"Oh, do you have any
stones on this
socials and
kid."
stuff?" And then I tried to pitch my book, and she turned around and looked at me like I was, like radioactive. She just
Probably
looked at me.
like
I
he
was
had
like,
3 heads,
"Oh."
right?
I'm like, Vaughn, go get that girl's phone number. And that's how old I am. I still think you get girls' phone numbers. I don't
Yeah, I
realize.
got her Instagram.
I don't
Oh
realize you
my
get
Lord.
their Insta.
Oh no, he's gonna slide into her DMs.
Well, not if I feel
Oh
like
man,
it. You know what I mean?
nobody says that anymore. My God in heaven.
No, I mean, wait, who is the second one?
Excuse me. Thank you. I'm glad you included me in that.
Hey, Garfield, how you doing? Good to see you.
Yeah, that was fun. The cons have been fun. Oh man.
Cons are a blast, man.
They are.
They're a lot of
They
they're
are
a lot of
freaking
work if you're
addictive.
doing it right.
Oh God, yeah.
But they
That's
are
right.
addictive. Like you finish one, you want to do another one.
Yeah,
right
you
away.
want to do? It's like
You're absolutely right,
That was
Nick.
so
I
much work.
want to do another one.
I have done 25, I think, this year.
Holy
You should.
crap!
You should do MegaCon next year.
Yeah,
John.
I want to.
I've been posting prices of MegaCon in chat every now and then, just dropping subtle. hints for
MegaCon
people.
is like a bloodbath to get into, though. It's a
It-
very difficult show. To
It's-
get. I mean,
it's
if you're
a-
Rip-averse, you might
It's a
be.
shock. Oh, Goodness gracious. It's a
Well, why?
shockingly big show. I had no idea because it's not like it's talked about like NYCC or SDCC or Dragon Con or was it
MegaCon is definitely on
C2E2?
the same level as Dragon Con, I would say.
Right, but what
It is, but it
Andrew's saying
doesn't
is
get
not
talked about.
advertised on the same level.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't in terms of
Exactly.
iconography, but in
Exactly.
terms of attendance numbers, yeah, it's
Just
very
as Arkham said, though, it's not advertised on that same scale. Yet somehow it draws.
Florida.
and pulls
It's
that
because
many
it's
people.
Florida. It's Florida.
It's because it's Florida. Like
Well,
a
what
bunch
is-
of people during the late spring when it's already warm as crap want to all be in one single building, surrounded by each other with about 8.5 inches apart from one another.
Okay, so
Yeah, that sounds like a
the
great
San
idea.
Diego Comic Con where you only have about a quarter inch between every individual.
And that's fair.
SDCC is
And
horrible.
I don't like the thought of that either, to be honest.
Yeah, Dragon Con.
Con in Atlanta is like a furry convention, from what I've heard.
Dragon Con. I've heard is a good show. I just didn't get in there.
It's one of the biggest shows in the,
Oh,
in the
yeah.
Has anyone
country.
gone to Emerald
John, have you
is
heard
Emerald
of
City still going
SawCon?
on?
I can't-
Emerald City in Oregon.
When everybody's
that's
talking,
other- yeah.
I have a hard time hearing. Vaughn, what were you saying? You asked me a question?
Johnny, you ever heard of SawCon?
No, I never did.
SawCon these nuts.
Oh!
Oh God, that's terrible. That is terrible, Paul.
At least if I did, I wouldn't get any hair in my teeth. There's only Artist Alley. There was
Yeah,
Dragon-
Thank you,
I'm not
Bobby,
doing-
for setting that up for me, brother.
Yeah, my next con is until next month. I'm waiting for it. It's a more regional one. I'm trying to get Vaughn to come up here and do Motor City. He
Dude, I
applied
want
last.
to do Motor City.
That-
I'm gonna definitely. That's on my list for next year because I know they do 2 a year. So I'll tell you a sleeper hit con because the guy who ran Artist Alley went up to me. Level Up Expo. I didn't go. I didn't even know there was an upstairs, but it's like for a gaming convention, they have a decent Artist Alley that they're trying to expand. That one was one of my best shows of the year.
I would actually recommend Capital City Comic Con because I broke $1,000.
But here's the question though, because that's how far is that? Because the thing is, to me, like I always say this, like there are shows that like if you're in my area or John's area are like non-negotiables, but then it's like for example, Saratoga Comic Con to me is like one of my better shows. It's like a 5-hour drive for me, but I wouldn't, for example, tell Andrew or Bastards in Virginia like this is a show you got to do. So there's some shows that I feel like if you're in that area 100%. But then there's some shows where it's like they're the ones that are worth flying at. Like MegaCon is worth the long drive and or flight. That one is 100%.
Yeah, Motor City definitely works out because
Motor City
where it
is
is,
worth it.
it's not that far from the airport either. It's like maybe about a half hour, 45 minutes from the airport. Versus Capital City is in like downtown Lansing, so like you might be a smaller airport. But yeah. Then there's Grand Rapids Comic Con. That's a good one. Oh, God.
Backs, we hit 100 backers, dude. We did it.
Nice.
go.
Congratulations, man.
Anyone
Here's
ever
an
done
open
C2E2?
invite to our group of creatives and everything. If any of you guys want to do Oregon conventions like Rose City, you have a place.
Rose
to
City,
stay.
I've heard good things about. A friend of
Yeah,
mine.
you have a place to stay. You know that.
Anyone
All
ever
right.
done the Chicago
Keep that in mind,
convention?
Arkham. Chicago. So that's another thing. Like I'm telling you guys, I have a spreadsheet of over 100 plus conventions. I will put like dates, who I have to stay with, blah, blah, blah. And I go crazy with it. So if there's even a show I can't make a weekend, like I'll happily send what I have with you guys. If you want to see my schizo spreadsheet of over 100 plus shows. Rose City, I've considered, because especially if I have a place to stay in a city, my chances of going there, it's like I don't have to pay for a hotel. Fuck yeah.
That's literally one of the bigger reasons why I do Capital City because that's like an hour and a half away from me. I have a friend that lives up there. She lets me stay at her house for the convention, so that's like $200 to $300 I don't have to pay, and it's really nice.
Nice. Yeah. No, this is great.
Yeah,
I will
whenever
say
we-
this again: when the Crisis on Independent Earths goes up, if the $100,000 stretch goal is all contributors are invited to my house, we're gonna make up role-playing characters of your characters, and we will live stream. I'll make chili. We'll put 30 freaking people in this basement, and I will try to attempt a total party kill of all your characters.
I'm just
I mean, $100,000 you can rent out.
I will
Yeah,
write some
really.
bullshit this weekend just for the opportunity to go to your house and have chili.
There you go. There you go. You heard it here first. This is now legally binding, by the way.
Is that what it is? Okay. It won't be Rippaverse related. I do
That's
not
fine.
have the power to
Right,
make
that's
that call, but I have other things that I'm working on.
I emailed the Rippaverse.
Well, will it be
They said
NDA
they
and
weren't
related?
interested in a crossover, which I respect. You know, like I said, I'm sad that Paul now, Paul Thayer, Project Now, but I understand his reasons, and I respect that. Nothing's personal.
I should.
It's
I
a pretty
should
sick.
say
But
right
yeah, Bob.
now-
Yeah, that's right. Bobby's been. It's funny because after the convention on Saturday night, we were like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. And they look over. I was sound asleep in my recliner.
You conked out. You were snoring, Bobby. So Bobby's like, "Do I just like stay here? Do I go home? Like, what do I?" And I'm like, "I'm like, we're just gonna hang out." We
But it was tiring, man. Because
I'm
you
a
all.
cheat
Oh,
sheet.
yeah.
I can be won over with food. Like you mentioned chili, and I was like, oh shoot, I'll write something this weekend.
I'll tell you,
Shit.
Andrew. I make the greatest chili, and chili has beans, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to
I
hear
do
the
have
nonsense.
Chili does have beans. You are up against two particular chilies. You're up against my mother's chilies, and you were up against my friend Caro, her chili.
Oh, she
Her
makes
chili- She makes like I was genuinely shocked. I was like, oh, word, this is really good.
And
know
I
how to
also
feel
make
about
the
this.
world's greatest breakfast burritos for Sunday morning. So
Oh, you and I will have to compete on that one.
Yeah,
I mean,
John,
my
you're
wife is
welcome
over here
to
shaking her
compete
head.
and to
the
our
idea of these
benefit.
people coming. The
Here's what I
idea of
find
these
funny.
people
If you
coming
wanted
to
to wake John up, all you had to do is open up one board game, roll the dice once. John would have been up with you playing that game immediately.
or take like a comic book bag and take the tape off of it and be like,
John,
what are you doing? What are you reading? What are you looking at? You getting fingerprints all over my Fantastic Four #1? What's going on? Hey Vaughn, tell them how cool my comic book room is.
Dude, it's fucking awesome. His comic, he's got all these board games. It's like what you see on stream is a fraction of it. Like, it's just wall to wall filled with board games. There's all these comics. He's got X-Men #1. He's got all this shit in his house. It's really cool.
See, I feel incompetent. All I have is
Wait, John
that-
showed you his long
that
box?
closet full.
You showed me many of his long
Oh.
boxes.
Oh,
my.
Pause.
But did he at least bag and board it?
Oh yeah.
Of course.
Mine are in a closet, so if I bring a chick home,
You made
I
it
can just
worse.
close it really quick.
How'd you make it worse? How do you make that worse?
Have you met Nick? Nick, have you met Andrew?
I've met him now.
We've done like one or two streams, Andrew, but I'm
Oh,
Yeah,
our stream
I have a
is
big
cool.
globe over there, and you open it up, and it's got all liquor bottles and snifters and stuff like that. He was calling it my Hitler globe because apparently Hitler owned it. So we
Did he
can't
really?
own anything that Hitler owned, like clothes, tables.
You know what?
chairs.
You know what Hitler also did? Hitler breathed.
Yeah, Hitler had a dog.
Yeah,
I'm
is
gonna have to
anyone here
stop
an artist?
breathing.
Is anyone here an artist? You know, Hitler was an artist.
I mean, I tried to take a drawing class, but I flunked out of it. So
The only thing is Hitler was a socialist, but you could still be a socialist apparently.
That's
I'm less Austrian
don't
artist
tell
and more of a
people that
Jackson
those two are the
Pollock
same thing. They'll get angry at you.
No. Mustaches? Yeah. All right. Anyone here have a mustache?
No, mustaches are creepy.
Mm.
I have goatee.
So Andrew, if you don't want to answer, you don't have to answer. But what part of the country do you live in?
I'm in Texas.
Oh, you are in Texas. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in the
No,
Dallas
what-
area.
What are the must go to conventions in Texas?
San
So
Antonio.
specifically for comic books, Dallas Fan Expo's good. Bell County Comic Con is
Very
actually
good
really
show.
good.
Yeah.
For comics specifically, Space Con is not the place necessarily. Space Con is a fantastic convention for general sci-fi stuff, and they always have like fantastic guests there. Like I got to be basically front and center and watch the Smallville kind of reunion
Ooh.
panel.
Did
there,
you
which
join
was really
Nexium?
cool.
Did you join the cult?
I did no, I did
Oh
not.
my god!
I did not.
Did somebody save you?
Somebody save me, yes, please.
Don't care
Um,
how.
If it was Laura Vandervoort or Erica Durance, they are welcome to. But That was really
What about
cool.
Kristen Crook?
But it is not. She's cute, but she was not my favorite character on the show. That being said, it's not a comic-centric convention. So if you are a small indie comic creator, it's not necessarily the greatest venue for you. However, Dallas Fan Expo, there are a lot of smaller creators there. We had a really good experience last year. Bell County Comic Con is our favorite convention that we go to because they're very selective with the number of celebrities that they'll bring in, because they don't want, this is the big issue with a lot of the other conventions, right? Well, they'll bring in all these huge name celebrities, and that's cool, that's exciting, but they're also charging, whether by way of their own decision making or their agents, they're charging upwards of, I don't know, $250 to $300 for a signature and an 8x10. Okay, so you get 2 of those, and that's all your spending money for the rest of the weekend. So what happens to all the vendors, right? We're all just
I know
I've encountered this myself. I've had people come to my booth. I pitched to them. They're like, "Oh, I spent all my money meeting Austin St. John," or what, you know.
Well, I don't understand. I've been going to, as a professional, going to San Diego Comic-Con for a long time. I remember most autographs were $80, $60, and you're talking A-list actors. And then around 2016, it just, boom, prices started doubling and tripling. And I was like, I remember Lou Ferrigno, a buddy of mine.
I met him in 2014.
He's a super nice guy. But I mean, he's charging, or probably not anymore, but during the 2018, 20s, he's charging up the wazoo for those prices.
I never, it's funny because I don't, if you give me an option, hey, do you want my comic autographed or not I'll choose unautographed. I
don't charge for signatures. I don't.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't want signatures. I don't see the appeal of getting Lou Ferrigno's autograph or whatever, but apparently that's a way to get people at a convention.
I like getting the signatures of the creators of things. I think that's fun, and there's a personal thing there, especially if you have a good experience with the creator. You're chatting, especially with smaller indie creatives, right? If I'm chatting with an indie creator at a convention, I'm having a really good experience. I absolutely want their signature on that because I want to remember that moment.
Right.
Oh, and that's cool. That's something sentimental. That's something special. That's impactful. But I don't place any value on, hey, I got so-and-so's signature for $450.
Yeah.
I don't care about that. There's not a single person on the planet, celebrity or otherwise, that would pay $450 for it.
Vaughn kept telling me, John, say you'll sign it. Say you'll sign it. And I was reluctant to do it because I feel funny. Who the hell am I? Nobody wants my, I don't even care.
No, people value, and I can say this.
But you're absolutely right. Vaughn was absolutely right.
Yeah, he is.
And a lot of people are buying this for future collector value. That's the other thing.
It's
and
part
a lot
of
of people buying it. They want it because they want the signature.
They're like, you created this? Wow! It doubles my chances of sales when I see that.
Well, right, yeah.
Okay.
We'll say that. Hey, we don't charge for signatures at the Rippaverse, and we deliberately say that. We say, hey, the creator of this book, whatever it is, if it's Isom and it's Eric, or if it's Chuck and it's Alpha Core or Horseman or whatever, or if it's Caro and it's Dirty Deeds, if it's myself and it's Arcstream, we explicitly say we don't charge for signatures. We're grateful for you coming here, giving us a look, giving us your time, and being willing to check out our work. We're happy to freaking scribble on your cover or wherever you want it on there. And thank you so much for giving us your time and your attention.
One person asked me to one person asked for custom art. And I was like, I can do little goblin-y type thing, and then he's like, "Yeah, do it." And so I do little goblins.
Yeah,
they were happy.
Vaughn said, "We'll sign this for you," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot," because I feel like that's pretend. Who the hell am I? And I said, "It's funny. I never think to offer it, so I signed it for him." The guy goes, "No." He goes, "I want you to sign it." He goes, "Be proud of." He talked me into signing. You know what I mean? He made me feel good about it.
I
was
love
like,
those kind of interactions.
Well, it's because John, I think it's so many of these fans and these convention goers are so used to right now being nickel and dimed and charged out the ass for signatures on things that if you just say hey, I'm happy to sign it, and I don't charge for the signature, that is absolutely it's kind of an unwritten or unspoken additional value that's added on.
But you're
to the
right.
product.
So
I don't
Vaughn
know
would
how
John,
many
Vaughn would assign it.
The expectation now from these convention goers is that they're going to have to spend a bunch of money on a signature.
I don't know how many times when I've been pitching a book and I see like the person is kind of on the fence, and when I say, and I do sign for free, there has been so many times where I'm pitching them, and when I say that, it literally like, oh yeah, let's do it then. Like,
right.
I never understood it as a creator.
When I say that, it gets you over the hump.
Yeah.
One guy said, he goes, I'm hedging my bets that maybe you'll be famous someday. You know,
I've heard
I
that.
get that a lot.
I've gotten that myself. I can, yeah, same.
You see
John
that
and Vaughn
right?
will absolutely be famous one day. I don't know about that.
Andrew.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
That is
That-
one signature.
I look forward to going to see the Phenomenova movie in about 5 years.
That Phenomenova
Phenomenal movie.
Netflix adaptation with Miles
Galvanite is played by
Morales.
a black lady.
a properly skin toned character for
Well,
the
now is the time to announce that the Heroic Tales is an option for a movie, and Lizzo is playing the patriarch.
Dude, oh, John, I told Chuck Dixon the con story on stream last night. He was losing his shit. He thought it was so funny.
Yeah, so I'll tell. So this guy came up to the booth, and
He was not a rip reverse.
you can tell right away there was something missing with this kid. So I didn't, and his parents were like hovering right behind him. So right away, every red flag, and he's like, "Hey, how you doing? I like comic books." So I'm giving him the pitch, thinking he's not going to buy anything, and so I'm like this, and he's like, "Oh, you bought?" He goes, "I like to support indie comics," and he's taking out his card, you know. So I'm like, "Okay, he's really going to buy this." So then he goes, "Wait a minute, you don't have anything to do with that alt-right racist weirdo Chuck Dixon, do you?" Now, keep in mind, Chuck Dixon and I just wrote a story together.
I was gonna say, you guys are buddies. He's on the show all the time.
So I did what any
Literally
guy
did a
pitching a
forward.
book would do. It said, "Chuck Dixon, what? I don't even know who you're talking about." He went, "Okay." Because like I said, $20 is $20. The guy bought both my comics, and then he goes, "Wait a minute, this character, what's he called?" I go, "The Patriarch." He goes, "The Patriarch? He's not a misogynist, is he?" And I was like, he has a wife and 3 daughters." He goes, "Okay." And then, then I shuffle him off to Vaughn, who's like, "Thanks a lot." So the parents turned around and gave me the
this. I heard
So
none
30
of
silver pieces is what I'm hearing. You sold
Yeah,
out.
Right,
Then.
right. $20.
The
Hey,
Crow-
Bats, I'll deny you for free. Just so you know that.
Dr. Ling will have none of this, sir.
So,
anyway,
I felt so bad. Okay, John, I'm sorry.
So anyway, I heard none of this. John told me this as a fact. What I hear is this guy's. What I see is this kid. Okay, he bought something from John. So John and I have a deal where we have.
When you
so it's
say
his
kid,
books.
I need you to qualify that statement because you're like 19 years old.
Me,
Yeah.
I'm 27. I didn't say 10. No.
You just said kid. Like, how old was this dude?
Oh, he was probably around my age, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So mid to late 20s. All right, fine.
Oh my
So
god.
anyway,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
stupidity can be forgiven, I suppose.
In
So I-
mindset rather than age.
So I brought him off on Vaughn now. You know what I mean?
So-
and the
so
parents
I-
are going to me, thank you. Like they knew he was trouble.
So I didn't hear any of this, and I'm just like doing the standard pitch, selling my book. Now, in between John and I, so it's John's books on one side, my books on one side, and we have this mini print. It's the mini print the 3 of us did, where it's John's character.
Yeah,
my
the one by
character,
Renzo. Oh.
and I'm signing my book for him, and then I'm holding it, and I go, "Oh yeah, and you want the mini print too?" He like freezes up. He's like, "Rippaverse? Is that Rippaverse?" I'm like, "Yeah. Do you know? Do you want?" And he's like. And then he's like spurging out, and John goes, "Yeah, he doesn't like Rippaverse." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And keep in mind, I've never had a conversation like this. Like this whole culture war thing is really not much of a thing in the convention scene. This is the first time
It's not. It's something that
I've
almost
seen two
exclusively exists on the internet.
Yeah,
Right.
I have
met
gone
2
over.
people wearing Rippaverse shirts at conventions ever.
I've never met like someone who's like that anti-Eric in all my whatever cons.
Yeah,
People don't care.
Well, and he only did like 35 this year, Vaughn.
Yeah, yeah. And
This guy, we were saying, he was the most Reddit person we've ever met in real life.
But he ended up, look, God bless him. He bought our books, but he clearly didn't want the print. So I'm just like, I'm like ready to sign the book. I'm like, do you want the book still? Or are you about to blow me off? Because unlike John's Dongbox at the record show, Chuck Dixon, I started my career editing for Chuck Dixon. I would not deny Chuck Dixon, unlike John's Dongbox here.
$20. Well, so what did Chuck say when you told him the story?
Chuck laughed so fucking hard. He was like, "That's so funny."
I emailed him right away. I felt so bad. I was like, "Chuck, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry." But
so you're saying John has no morals. John has no moral standing.
Chuck is salt of the earth. He is as down to earth a guy as it gets. I absolutely believe he would laugh that off.
No, he thought it was so funny.
This is my philosophy: you don't fight with the customer. That's what.
I didn't tell Chuck that part of the story yet, but
But you know, it's like I remember reading up on what's his name, Todd McFarlane. He says when you go to a convention, you're there to meet the fans and potentially win over people because you make eye contact with them. You give each one an experience. I'm not. Todd McFarlane's a Superman. I'm not. He's like, I don't eat, so I don't have to go to the bathroom. So I stood in front of the booth, asked Vaughn. I didn't sit down until the last half hour. So I was like 12 hours on my feet. That's why I was engaging every person. I was trying to be his present. So when this guy was like fighting, I panicked for a second. What do? Do I argue with them? Because there was a whole bunch of people and they're not going to know the context of this argument. So I was just like, yeah, whatever sells him the book and gets him out of here in a positive way. Like, unfortunately, this guy was even crazier than that. So that's the context. But it's a funny story that I denied Chuck this. Now, one thing I learned is when a guy comes up to your booth cosplaying as Loki, don't tell him Loki was the worst show in the world.
Don't do that. I just want to tell you, John, I want to warn you: do not deny Chuck Dixon 3 times.
Right, I know.
The rooster will crow.
Yeah.
All right, that's a problem.
Before the screecher screeches, I will deny Chuck Dixon 3 times.
Yeah, did somebody say screecher?
I keep it kind of quiet when people say stuff, but like I'm not gonna like if they're like, is this like.
Oh, trans rights? Yeah, I definitely support trans rights. Whatever you say, please buy Screecher.
I've always expected to hear, because I always pitch Harry Potter meets Office Space. I always expect somebody to say something about Harry Potter because of J.K. Rowling. I haven't heard anything though. So.
No, it's not that. It's not again.
Well, that's because most people are normal.
Most normal people just like Harry Potter and they don't care about the other.
Internet spurgs. These people are not leaving their house, and if they are, they're spurging out.
And even the people who don't like J.K. Rowling, you mean in public, they're just gonna say, "Oh, I don't buy Harry Potter because they don't support J.K. Rowling," and they just leave it at that. You know, most people are just they don't.
Most
support
people,
it.
yeah.
Most
people don't act in public the way that they act online.
Right.
A woman hissed at my wife because my wife was selling the book, and she said
Or
something
human
about
rights
IT.
to buy copies.
I missed
Pissed
that.
at your wife?
Yeah, she's like, well, I used
Heroes
to,
Con, right?
I would do a pitch and be like, hey, you ever do customer service? And, mention something about IT because it's correlated with the book. And I guess my wife mentioned that to this woman, and when she heard IT, she's like, my ex-husband worked in IT, and then just walked off.
I remember one time I was at a convention. I was wearing like a Legend of Zelda necklace, which is like the Triforce and the wings. And this one person,
the Triforce
was
and
like,
the Highlayan royal family.
Yeah, they're like, hey, can I look at the necklace? Like, they were like, oh, I was just checking. They were applying like it was some sort of like Nazi necklace or whatever. Like, bitch, this is Legend of Zelda.
You should have turned it around. The swatch stick is on the back. I mean,
that would be a great joke, to be honest.
Vaughn, tell them about the first person to come to our booth.
Oh, the cosplayers that refused to break character. Oh, Bats and I have a good story on that. The first one, he's like, "Oh, I'm looking for action." He's just a Jedi. I'm like, "Yeah, here's my book," and it's like, "Yes, this is." I'm like, "Yeah, do you want to like?" Because I'm a very straight shooter about it. I'm like, "All right, do you want the book?" He didn't break character to his credit, and he's like, "This."
He goes, "I require action." I'm like, it's a superhero comic book. Of course,
this is the first. This is the first.
Those are the best
day.
Kind of
But this is John's first ever convention customer. He turns because it's not all going to be like this.
I turned to him. I was just like, I got to get out of here. This is what I'm going to be dealing with all day long.
I love those people because
John was almost turned off to conventions for forever.
Yep.
John, those kind of people, if you can match their energy, you're almost guaranteed a sale.
No, you can't. No, you can't. That's not true. To be fair, I don't attempt to because I'm kind of like, all right, this is fucking. I'm not. But Bats and I have had, when I'm with Bats, we had. I think I don't know if it's just.
I'm a magnet, dude. I don't get it. I'm a magnet.
You're
for, like,
the weirdest.
Worst interaction.
I don't know. I hear that Vaughn's the magnet.
They want the
Well,
sauce.
yeah, I'm the magnet. So he's so Bats is like. Character. So I remember one time we get this way. He's dressed as Soldier from TF2. This is one of my favorite interactions we've ever had. He goes, "What's up, Soldier?" Like whatever. I'm like, "Yes, you want to buy that books?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "Yes, I'm like, yeah." Like I interrupt him mid bit. I'm like, "Do you want to buy the books?" And I look him like straight in his soul, and he freezes and he breaks here. He's like, "Oh, I don't have any money." He goes, "I'm a soldier," and then he breaks back in.
Oh god.
I got
fine.
like if I knew anything about their character, I would try. Like there was a lot of there was the actor who did the voice actor for Zuko from Avatar the Airbender.
Yeah, I showed this
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Hey, how's it
So there was a
going?
lot of people dressed up as Zuko, and that's one of my favorite characters in all of fiction.
Yeah, he's
I
great.
absolutely love that character. So every
Yeah,
time they would
Zuko's
go
my
by,
favorite character in Last Airbender.
so
Yeah.
every time they walked by, I was just like, "Hey, why did you guys attack? We weren't bothering nobody." And it was just like a good icebreaker. And then there was a lot of like manga characters, so that was just like, "Hey, I don't know manga," and I just get them talking about manga.
Hey,
But by the way, buy a comic book.
Yeah, I
If
do that.
it were me, I'd say that cosplay looks rough, buddy.
That's fucked up.
I
fucked up.
don't know if I'd lead with that.
Yeah, I
I really don't
wouldn't
know
lead
if I'd lead with that.
So like when I had my FF7 cover, I'd be like, "Hey, you Final Fantasy VII is this?" I also my 2-hour video essay of Final Fantasy VII that no one fucking watched. It was so good. It was. I worked really hard on it. Anyway, I'll plug that Final Fantasy.
You should
7
promote
cover.
it more.
I should promote it more. But
You can promote it on Saturday when you're coming on my stream.
am I
There you
coming
go.
on a stream on Saturday?
Yeah, Final Fantasy 7. Our new remake. We talked about it. We talked about it.
Yeah, I don't know if I was responding to.
We'll talk about it
I was
later.
saying
Talk about it later.
Yeah, because I'm.
Vaughn told me this. He said, "Furries never have pockets, so they don't have any money. So don't try to sell to them." And he was
That's not.
absolutely.
Well, I also I said.
Unless
I'm
they're a
like-
kangaroo.
No, so
That's
here's
a
what
little furry
furries do because they're at every con.
Those
They don't-
suits are expensive. They have money.
Furries only buy furry related stuff, but here's what they'll do. They'll go because I pitch to everyone, even if I know the furries aren't gonna fucking buy anything, and then what they'll do is they'll walk to my fucking booth and they'll go, and they'll do these like furry motions. They'll go, and then they'll touch every fucking thing on my table with their disgusting furry hands. Look through my books and go, like these exaggerated gestures, and they'll leave.
Yeah, they just want to know if they can get art of their characters.
Dude,
Art
don't
in
even wanna-
compromising positions.
Oh man, yeah, prison pockets.
Vaughn,
Bill,
do you do
I just want
commission?
to ask Films by Saber. I got a thunder and lightning storm here in Long Island. Do you live nearby
Yeah.
me? Because geez,
no,
it is-
she's way down. Saber's Andy Smith's daughter.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Tell
okay.
your dad to join the Crisis on Independent Earth.
Very,
Yeah.
very talented artist.
Yeah. No, but because I was seeing it too while I was streaming earlier. I was like, oh my god, we have it in New Jersey.
How you doing, Courtney? Tell your dad's a cool guy. And
Yeah,
so was Mr. Turner. So is Dennis.
Yeah, so Dennis, so Heroes Con, it's like it was like it was Tucci's at the end, then it was Bats and I, and then it was Andy Andy and Dennis on this side. So it was like the three of us kind of had this like we were all around each other. It was really cool. That was a fun show.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always
But yeah.
blast. HeroesCon.
Heroes Con is like a good network. Now, here's the thing. I will say this. Heroes Con is not a huge sales number show, but it's a very fun show, and the people that are there to buy. It's not a massive crowd.
Well, from what I've seen as well, based on guest lists for the last couple of years, it's probably a good networking show
Great
as well,
networking
because
show.
there's a lot of like really high talent like writers and artists that end up
Mhm.
going to Heroes Con, and so that's one of those ones that I'm like trying to push us at the Riververse to go to for the networking aspect.
So, Andrew, for the three, so I will tell you on East Coast side, the three best comic book networking shows.
I don't want to hear
Baltimore Comic
anything
Con,
that's in New Jersey. I will slap you.
they're not, dude. They're
Wrong
not
in
in
New Jersey.
said East Coast, not hell.
Heroes Con, Terrific Con, which is the Mohegan Sun Casino Resort in Connecticut.
Terrific Con's a big one, yeah. That's in
Terrificon,
Connecticut.
I was
Yeah,
just there. One of the best. It's one of the best networking shows. Terrificon, Heroes Con, and Baltimore Comic Con. Now, I'm not sure if they're if Ripperverse, if that's up to scale with what they want to do, but I will tell you, like, if here Terrificon, I'll give you an example. 3 different people said, "Hey, I like your stuff. I want you to come on my podcast." And that is one of the shows where that's the first show I met Billy. The same con I met Billy Tucci, Graham Nolan.
Tucci?
Yeah, Tucci, Graham Nolan, Jimmy Palmiotti, Paul Thayer,
Jimmy's
Project
great.
Now. Yeah, Project Now Assist. I met him at his first ever show. He got me with his pitch. We've been friends ever since. All those guys the same year at Terrificon. That is like a very comic show. And what I like about Baltimore, Heroes Con, and Terrificon is they're the right size where they're big enough where it's tons of creators. Everyone goes to the same bars afterwards. So it's like if you didn't you missed them at the show, you get to find them afterwards.
I like that kind of stuff. I'll be honest, like it's a blessing and a privilege to be able to go to conventions like MegaCon, and I'm sure for other creators that go to them like SDCC and stuff like that. But I like the smaller ones where like some of the creators get together afterwards. And it's like, all right,
yeah,
we're away from our booths, we're away from the crowds and everything. We're gonna grab an oversized booth. We're gonna get some food. We're gonna get some brews,
we all went to a diner on
and
Saturday
just
night.
chill out and
so
and
those
have a
three
good time.
shows, those 3 shows have that exact energy. Terrificon, Baltimore Comic Con, Heroes Con, where it's like
That's how
it's-
Bell County was.
That's how it's like Bell County, except it's like Bell County then. It's except the walking distance to the we literally the bar is right over there.
Oh yeah,
There's
you
no
can't walk anywhere from Bell County. Yeah, you got to drive because Bell County's in the middle
Have any of you been to
of
WonderCon
nowhere.
in Anaheim?
That one I got into that one. I was gonna go, but it was the same weekend as Lexington Comic Con, so I missed it. But I'm gonna apply this year for
WonderCon.
I got in, but I had to decline it because
For you guys, me and John will probably just not go. Go to WonderCon. It has 2 motels right next to each other, and the party just goes like this all night. Everyone weaving out between the 2 motels. It's just a blast just to do it with people.
That sounds like a young man's game.
I've been doing it for a while. I'm too old now, but
all right, Arkham, I'll talk to you because I'm probably gonna do WonderCon if I can.
Where is that?
Anaheim.
It's a sister show to
Yeah.
SDCC.
Yeah.
What about C2E2?
That one's on my list. Because that one is so I've kind of been learning the circuit because C2E2, so NYCC, C2E2, Emerald City Comic Con, and Super Florida Con are all Reed Pop shows. So it's like once you kind of get in that circuit, my understanding is, and again, Super Florida was one I got into, but I turned it down because I've been traveling so much and I wanted to do Fredericksburg with Vats. So I turned down Super Florida.
What about Salt Lake City Comic Con?
That is the same weekend as Baltimore. Otherwise, I would. I do want to go to Salt Lake City. FanX Salt Lake. That one I 100% want to go to. I might do that next time. But FanX I've heard really good things about.
GalaxyCon.
GalaxyCon I've heard decent things about. Depends. I've heard some people. I hear very volatile things. Some people love it. Some people don't. I hear very mixed accounts with GalaxyCon shows. Lexington Comic Con I'm going again 2 weeks from now. I'll be driving out to Lexington. That show was really good. If you want a sleeper hit show that I'm hoping takes off, Sales at Lexington, dude, it was so good. Lexington was fucking great. I can't recommend that one.
Lexington, Kentucky.
Yeah, it was shocking because I was like, I don't know what to expect. I did better. So I did MegaCon the week after, the day after I did, the week after, sorry. So I did road trip. So I did Awesome Con with Bats, MegaCon, Lexington, and then I got back home, right?
Your travel schedule was stupid.
Insane. It was insane. I'm probably going to scale it down next year.
You should.
Yeah.
Get sleep. 36-year-old Vaughn will thank you.
Yeah, I agree. But
or just get Bass to drive you while you.
I outsold MegaCon by a significant margin at Lexington Comic Con.
Didn't you say you also did so at Bell County? Or am I
No, I didn't
misremembering
outsell
that?
MegaCon. No, I didn't outsell MegaCon. No.
It's always really great when you do surprisingly well. Because I did one earlier this year, Fantastic Con down in Toledo.
I've
It
heard
was like
that's
a
a good
2-day.
show.
Yeah, like it was a 2-day con. I was only able to do it for 1 day because I didn't have a car at the time, and I could only like get a ride for 1 day. In 1 day, I think I did like 550 or whatever. According to some of my friends, they were there on Sunday. Sunday was like even bigger. So I think if I had gone both days, I would have done 800 or maybe 1,000. So you bet your sweet ass I'm doing that one again next year.
That's a good one. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I mean, it depends entirely. You never know. I will say, all right, if you want a hidden weapon, there's this website, Aurcons, AOURCONS. They do 1-day shows. They're all over, like 1-day anime shows or whatever. It's like 125 for a table. They always get a good turnout.
The one thing I would avoid comic collector shows. I made the mistake of doing those.
Yeah, those often they'll be like, oh, I don't buy anything that wasn't released in the 80s.
Yeah, no, that going to collector shows is useless if you're not selling like graded like key issues and first appearances and whatnot.
I've done toy
like
shows,
legacy stuff.
Avoid toy shows as well.
I will say,
and those are cool, but like it's not. There's no value there for the indie market. For indie creators, there's no space there for us just yet.
But I will say, people have this mentality. Like I do like Heroes Con, Turf Gun, Baltimore. People have this mentality of that's not a comic show, I won't do it. Doesn't matter. If there's a lot of people walking by, it's their first comic they've ever read, you could win them over. John and I experienced that. Even if you just got to win people over. Because the fact of the matter is, the comic book industry is going to die if we're only winning over people that are already into comics.
All right.
Yeah, and
on that note, I have a question.
Industry.
On that note, I have a question for you guys. What do you guys think about doing anime conventions?
Oh, I do. I do them. They're good. I have done very well at anime conventions.
The trick with anime conventions is you also have to have something that can appeal to an anime and manga consuming market.
Full Metal Alchemist,
and that's
Omni, I'm actually from the Metro Detroit area myself. I've been there as a guest, but I'm trying to get in it as a person. And yes, Motor City's great.
Yeah.
I think that if the Western comic book medium is going to start growing again, more than what it's been doing because of things like the Absolute Universe over at DC, which has done things to actually grow the comic book market. It's brought older readers back and it's brought new readers in. And the
Ultimate Universe kicking ass till Marvel killed it.
So that means it was kicking ass for about 6 months.
Okay.
So, and I know because I was reading it, and that's cool, but you can't leave that just on the Absolute Universe at DC. You have to grow the comic book market outside of that. You have to grow it beyond that. And so in order to do that, you need to figure out, okay, what is it that people are wanting to read? And you have to sometimes look at the stories you want to tell, the way you want to present them, and look at what the actual audience that exists is looking for. Right? You could have the coolest idea on the planet, but if there's no readership for it, well, it's a cool idea for Andrew. I could have, I think, the coolest idea ever, but if it's only me and my mom that wants to read it, that doesn't do anybody any good.
One thing I think the industry has been doing, I think has been a really good idea, is these mini books. Like I was actually in a comic book shop today and they had a whole table and it was like Rocketeer, like all the iconic storylines for like 10 to 15 bucks.
Rocketeer is an amazing movie and people should watch it. If they haven't, shame on them.
But like they had a minute like, in the storyline of the Rocketeer, and I could have gotten the whole thing for $13. It was like this miniature format. And according to the guy who worked at the store, they sell like crazy. So I think that's something that like maybe even indies should lean into, is like this miniature format at a cheaper price. Because that's how you compete with mangas, is you give more for less.
I think that's part of manga. That's just business.
That's part of it. So that's the economics of it. But in terms of the target demographic part of it, that's a different beast.
Yeah, what Andrew's trying to say is you have to appease to the sensibilities of the anime fan. If they're not attracted to the genre, and let's face it, most of them are not attracted to American comics genre. They have to find something appealing about it, that they can find something that's on par. Doesn't have to be the same, but at least on par with it.
I got a few sales with people because we were talking about the differences between American comics and anime comics.
Yeah.
And I said, my comics are going to age in real time. I said, now maybe next year I'll set a story back in 2005, but I'll put a date on it. You're going to see my character getting older and younger and his children. And they're like, I like that. Then that person bought my book because
Yeah.
to them, Peter Parker exists in the.
It's a big reason why Dragon Ball is so popular. Because like the people who are following Goku in the 80s, Goku now, he's got grandkids,
Yeah, it would kind of say anime Jason. But yeah, I mean, I would say, like, to me, I think
You mean
people are
Piccolo
overcomplicating things. Like, I guess I'm lucky that my artist is a style that appeals to both. It wasn't even an intentional thing. But I think you just you appeal. You'd be surprised, like, at just how many people you could win over. In general,
Some of it's a stylistic thing visually, but some of it is also a stylistic thing narratively.
Yeah.
So I think there's, and I see this often because I do still read some comics from the mainstream. I see mistakes being made by creators sometimes where it looks like they're trying to appeal to a manga or an anime readership. But
and all it gives off is, hey, fellow kids vibes.
Exactly. No,
Yes.
that's exactly
Yes.
it. You said it perfectly. Because the only thing that says that they're trying to do that is that, they gave them oversized eyes. That's not what it is. It's so much more than that. It's narrative structure. Sometimes, sometimes it leans a little bit into tropes, but sometimes it's how they handle interpersonal drama.
Sometimes
honestly,
it's just,
how
it
they
looks cool.
handle sometimes how they handle the interpersonal drama in like a lot of the most popular anime and manga. So like your shonens, right? Your big ones that end up being super popular. It's not all too dissimilar to how interpersonal drama was handled in Spider-Man comics in the 60s and 70s, 80s.
Well, Andrew, and I think a lot of you guys will remember this, probably 15, almost 20 years ago. Japan was starting to really get into American comic books, right? There was anime of X-Men. There was anime of all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah,
there was an Iron Man anime. There was an X-Men anime. There was a Wolverine anime.
There was X-Men manga. There was
fan.
literally X-Men manga. I remember that in the 2000s.
That's the way you get the anime manga people into you got to bridge it.
Yeah.
That was the bridge. And they burnt that bridge, and then they tried to erect one out of like popsicle sticks with the crap they're doing today.
And this
and
is
bubble gum.
Yeah, and come on over. You'll turn off the light halfway through if you get that joke.
Where I think that often, that's the case to some of it, but I think sometimes, as being honest, people overthink it. Where sometimes they like it just because it's cool, so show them something cool.
That's absolutely part of it.
Those are the people, so when people go, I don't know, my stuff's not really anime style, try it. Yeah. You never know. If there's, and this is another thing too, if it's a big anime show and there are thousands of people walking by, look at this is one of the things when I do cons, look at how much your table cost is, how much you're spending. Can I sell to this many people enough to recoup everything?
It's a numbers game.
It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game.
Pitch to everybody.
Anime Mod Series I sold pretty well. I wish I sold more given how goddamn expensive everything was to get to there. But I sold pretty well.
Are pricey.
But I sold if it wasn't so pricey, one of my best sales shows of the year. If it wasn't so pricey, like gross wise, very good show.
If you pitch to 10 people and you sell 7, you're still better than if you only pitch to 5.
That it was an anime convention. It was just that it was expensive for me to get there from New Jersey.
I read that the average person comes to your booth 3 times before they buy.
Depends. So not always. I don't think so.
Not always, but I've seen that happen.
Every person says, I'm on my first roundabout. I'll be back.
Yeah,
sometimes they
never return.
A lot of it depends on the day of the convention, right? If you're on a Friday. Yeah, exactly. If it's first day of a 4-day show or even a 3-day show, you will absolutely run into those people on day one because they're just trying to suss things out, right? And they might circle back the next day or later that first day or whatever. That is absolutely a thing. I think
you meet them on the first day, second day you're still talking to them, and the last day you're like, oh yeah, I'll buy your book before I go.
Yeah. Especially if you're on, exactly as you said, like the last day, and maybe you do something like, hey, like I've got I'll give you a little bit of a discount on this
Bundles.
bundle of books
Bundles.
and things like that. That's
Yeah.
people are looking for that on the final.
They love
day
a deal.
if
Everyone
they're
loves a
smart.
deal.
And I had to laugh as we were packing up. People like, we have free comics. I'm like, no.
No, not free
Oh,
comics. No, but I'll
Okay.
give you 15% off if you buy these two together or something like
Also,
that.
that's
right?
the other thing is at cons, it's kind of like a social thing where everyone knows if it's the last day, that is the day you make deals. Because the whole thing of like,
Well, most
You really
people don't,
wanna
because
take this
most
back to your
people
car.
are NPCs, to be honest.
That's true.
But,
It's true.
no, Bats was like, dude, why aren't you doing a bundle? And now I do a bundle, and it makes a big difference sales wise.
You
Yeah.
absolutely
Here's
at
also a thing.
conventions. You absolutely.
The
should
fact
do
that I
bundles.
didn't do one for the longest
I
time,
know.
I'm like, I cannot believe I didn't do one for the longest
Boggles
time.
my
I
mind.
know how you're saying, yeah.
But now I do
Freaking
it every
blondes,
time.
man.
I do.
If you're expecting deals from indie guys,
Well, I
don't
did some
expect deals
kinds of
from indie
bundles,
guys.
but not the what matters. Anyway, I'm gonna be gone real quick. Be back.
A lot of times they'll be like, hey, if you buy all 4, I'll give you a print, or even just buy it and I'll give you a print, or sometimes
We were
buy
doing
all
that.
4, I'll give you one free, go on comic free. You gotta, suss it out.
We were saying, I said, Vaughn and I and our friend Andrew, we made this print of all our Speedster characters. And I said, Andrew has explosive diarrhea, so he can't be here today. No.
It's very kind of you to have. a good
Andrew,
excuse
you
for
had
me.
to do those. You had to munch on the lettuce, didn't you?
I said, Andrew is
I had to
transitioning. It depends on who. If a person came up to me with blue hair and a nose ring, I go, Andrew is transitioning right now, so we want to support. And then they would buy everything.
You
Bastard! I love you.
You are welcome to make up bullshit like that as an excuse if it helps sell books. I don't give a damn. That's perfectly fine. But I will say, especially at conventions, it is incredibly crucial to have stuff that's eye-catching. At conventions, you'll see a lot of the same stuff. In like artist alleys and vendor alleys, you'll see a lot of booths that have similar tchotchkes, similar types of prints. Sometimes it's because they're selling 11 by 17s from the same artist that they didn't get permission to sell their art from, but that's neither here nor there, I guess. That happens all the time. What you have to do is you really have to have something that visually sets you apart. So you have to have characters that are visually striking, and there are a lot of creators in the indie space.
People do judge a book by its cover.
They do. They absolutely do, and that's a good cover.
Zach said, I never printed them up, but I'll get the Speedster print made up because Vaughn kind of sprung up the convention on me. So I for people who back my books, I'll have it for the next thing. And guys like you, I'll throw it in your thing because you backed all my books.
I will encourage other indie creators to, even if it's a small, like limited print run, get your best, like most flashy looking, most important character, or just one of your important characters in your universe. Get a nice big, whether it's a banner, whether it's a vertical or a horizontal banner that you can put on your table, or get some posters made up and put those on your table. Those will be eye-catching.
Yeah.
What do you think of this setup?
That's a good setup because you've got good designs. Like, look, Patriarch is a fantastic design. I'm a bit biased because I love white and gold, and I also like purple a lot, and I like things that have a bit of a sheen to them. And Patriarch literally has all that. Galvanite has a really cool design as well. He's got some white, he's got some gold on him. So
Andrew, having some creature, you'll dig it.
You should absolutely. Having eye-catching designs is incredibly crucial if we're going to, not just with classic older comic book fans, like I think all of us are here, but younger readers. We were just talking about the manga readership, right? It's not just the narrative structure, it's flash, it's pop. There is something about the designs.
I sold a lot of it, yeah.
There's something about the designs when it comes to those. Step one, when you're trying to grow your audience, is if they are walking by either your table or if they're walking by a shelf of books at a store, whatever it is, and your cover catches their eye and their first thought is, oh, that's kind of cool. That's step one. That's not even them picking it up off the shelf or off of your table.
It helps to have them vertical as well. Like having them flat, it can work. but if you have them like elevated,
Yeah, I got to get
angled,
stands.
That does help.
I'm the same way too. Like I have a novel that has like a really good cover on it, and
Yeah.
I've sold so many copies of that novel just because I have it elevated on a stand, like center, and people just see it. They look at the cover. I tell them about it. Sold.
Yeah.
My Dunce Whisperer, I'm like better at selling at, but the cover to my one book, Dawn Edge, it's red and it's got the planet with an eyeball in it. It's pun intended, eye catching, and it's just there's so many cover buys for that one.
Well, once there's actual physical products available, I think at conventions for people to buy for something like Wraith Crown, like that's an eye-catching design. It's a good design. People can see the inspirations in it, but it's also its own thing. And so when you take a design like that that's eye-catching and you have it displayed prominently, that's one of those things that people are going to be like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then you catch them, you're like, oh, hey, let me tell you a little bit about this in an organic manner, not in necessarily a sales pitch manner, but in like, hey, let me tell you about my character and just be enthusiastic, be sincere and genuine about the thing that you created, right?
Yeah. That's the thing I always tell people is you need to be the first fan of your comic. Because when you love your comic, especially when you're pitching, people like I feel like the reason why I sell a lot of Screecher is because when I'm telling it, they can tell that I love my book and they can see the passion, and people want that positive energy.
Fans aren't stupid. Fans can tell if you have no passion and enthusiasm behind your own work.
Yeah.
And even if you internally think you do, if in your either pitch or just interactions regarding your work, you don't come across as having enthusiasm about it, how the hell would you expect anybody else to?
Yeah, and that's why when you get a series of rejections, it can be tough to get winded. And you have to just kind of kick yourself into gear. It's tough.
Yeah.
There are times where it's like you'll get a streak and just you want by a book.
For me, it's what I call first. For me, it's what I call first blood. It's like when you first start a convention, like right up like that awkward moment up until you get your first sale, when you're like, oh, is it gonna sell? Is it gonna sell? But once you get that first sale and you start to get relaxed a little bit more, no
matter how many cons I do, for the most part, that is, unless it's like an exceptionally good con that happened, even at some of my better shows, I'll be like, you have that.
You're still going to have a stretch of people that are just like not interested.
Yeah.
Right?
And then you'll be like, that gives you time to have an existential crisis. Why am I doing this? Why am I here?
You know what?
As long as
Another thing
and it's always best. Oh, sorry, John. Go ahead.
Another thing that I noticed is like we would, because a lot of people, I would just engage them in talk. I'm, me, I like to talk to people, and I was just like, yeah, my character's not super tough. He's got a weakness, and like, oh, because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I read all these people are just like pitching the most powerful superhero. Well, that's boring.
Oh my god, yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay, so just tell them like, oh, my character's got, he's got flaws, but he's not the most powerful, and he loves his wife, he loves his family, and and one guy came over and he goes, I heard you say that your character homeschools his children. I said, yeah. He goes, you got me, and he bought my comics.
Yeah, that's the thing. You never know what's gonna hook people.
That guy had a shirt that said, it said two in the front and explain it later. You know what I mean? So you do that.
No, that's not what it was. It was anything worth shooting is worth shooting twice.
Oh yeah, anything worth shooting is worth shooting twice. Yeah. So I was just like,
sorry, I got it. I'm having so much fun, but I think I should go to bed. I've been up since
you've been up all day.
I'm on like 4 hours of sleep, so I'm gonna
pass
out.
Go to sleep. Go to bed. Go to bed.
Congrats on the launch of Phenomenova
so
issue number 5. Everybody in the chat, make sure you go over to Kickstarter and back it out.
And check out ArcStream too. By the way, is the first one shipping out yet, or
first one's shipping in October?
Okay, but the second's already in pre-launch. Okay.
Yeah, Cover D is still available to pre-order for issue 1. I'll get into that later, but issue 2 is also available for pre-order. And hey, pitch your buddy. Your buddy, Wraith Crown.
The Wraith Crown is.
Yeah, make sure to buy a second copy of the Wraith Crown because we're trying to sell more copies of the Wraith Crown, the better book.
Make it a competition. You should absolutely.
We have been from its inception.
Okay, good.
Is so the Wraith Crown is basically one thing I think I'm kind of glad these two books pair together because issue 1, it's like we deal with the veteran stuff, and both of these books deal with like the downsides, while still it's not like everything in media. It's either like being a veteran sucks or it's great, and there's not like this is like there's honor in it, but this is dealing with the darker sides of it. And the Wraith Crown, Austria was on the losing side of the war, and now we have kind of a fantasy twist where this father gets possessed by this warlock from the Dark Ages, and the son has to carry this crown that allows him to construct weapons from like this spirit matter, and he can also command a ghost army like Aragorn in Lord of the Rings. So the Wraith Crown, really cool idea. What I like about it is it fits my universe like a glove, but it's an idea I never would have thought of, and I'm really glad about
cool
that.
idea. I love that kind of mashup.
He pitched it after when he was at my house after HeroesCon. He just pitched me the idea, and I was like, "Send me something," and I really liked it. And I was like, "All right, let's go for it." So the book is colored. It's because I told him, I'm like, if you can launch alongside me, but you have to be ready to go. In fact, I want you to be ahead of me. And he did it. He did it.
Yeah, it just needs to be
That's
lettered.
good.
That's it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's
Oh,
actually
so art and colors are done.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mine
There you
is
go.
mostly. It's most of the art is done. Philip is a bit behind on his deadline, so if it's late at all, it would be my fault, not his. But so yeah, check that out. And then Andrew, if you ever want shows too, like for Riververse, because I have done my research, like let me know for shows that you guys want to do.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But yeah, all right. Peace out, guys. And
Later, man.
we are $500 from 5K. So
Hell, so that means you're $500 from already halfway to your goal. Day one.
yeah.
Let's go.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
he's
excited.
halfway there.
All right. See you guys.
Take it
Hey,
easy,
man.
buddy. That's awesome to hear. I love seeing people succeed. That's
Spawn's the coolest.
Exciting. It's funny, you know, going back and forth with him on some
Yeah.
things. But I'm like, hey, I don't have any experience. Let me just let him do
Max,
it.
I got a question for you.
Vaughn's not here anymore. Let's talk shit about him. Man,
no, be
Vaughn is
nice.
like-
Vaughn is
I
like
do
the
my
worst
shit
guy
talking
ever
to
in the
Vaughn.
history of comics.
you can talk shit about him if it's in the context of get this kid a haircut, right?
Andrew just wants to
Vaughn-
join
Vaughn-
the anti-mullet
Vaughn
club.
could do no wrong as far because he's been messaging me, calling me to try to get me to do conventions for like a year now. But
Yeah.
in my
Vaughn-
business,
Sorry.
it's either feast or famine as far as overtime. And it's kind of like once you get known as the guy who rejects overtime, they stop asking you.
Right.
You know
and
what I mean?
sometimes
So-
you want that overtime.
It's sweet. It's sweet money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kept telling Vaughn, like, I could take off the overtime on this weekend and maybe make whatever, or it's guaranteed over $1,000 in my pocket if I, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Right.
yeah. So he understood, and he never gave up on me. He never gave up on me, and then finally, you know, this was the perfect storm. 15 minutes from my house, Vaughn came over. Like I was nervous about load-in. I was like, what do I do? Where do I go? You know, do I walk in with my comp? You know what I mean? And it was like the smoothest. Everybody
you
was
had the
helpful.
best person to pop your cherry with. You had the best possible.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good. And I got to say, the food truck was awesome. You know, everything about this convention was good. The host.
Having your first convention being one that doesn't have garbage tier food is really fantastic. Because let me tell
Yes.
you, that's not all of them. In fact, it's not most of them. Most of the conventions out there have overpriced trash food. Bell County Comic Con, one of my favorite things about it isn't just all of the vendors being awesome people, the hosts being awesome people, the people that run it being awesome people, all the guests being genuinely awesome people. It's that they bring in legit food trucks instead of just crap convention food. And
Yeah, they had food trucks.
That's kind of like
delicious.
me. There's this one library convention I do every year. I don't have to pay for it. I don't really make too much money. But the best part is they feed you. Like they actually cater in like local food, and it's like really good food. You get like the shawarma one day, the Mexican the next. You know, so it's like, ooh, free food.
Yeah, they had free coffee till 11 o'clock. Me and Vaughn were like, whoa, free coffee.
You were
You know,
wired.
Yeah, we were white. And then Bobby, was in the chat, he messages, he's like, I'm on my way. How do you like your coffee? So we were just like, you know, freebasing coffee all day long.
Free basing coffee.
And then I crashed.
That's awesome.
You know, right after the convention, we came. I sat down next to my air conditioned in my chair, and I was out. They were laughing at me. I'm surprised,
Love to hear it.
Yeah.
They forgot you're an old man, so.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, I stood in front of the booth. Oh, I was going to tell the story, but I didn't want to interrupt. The guy directly across from us, he set up his booth, and it was garbage. I don't want to lie, but he sat in the corner on his phone. Like, dude, your stuff isn't that impressive that it's going to sell itself.
I never understood that. Like, artists who don't even look at people. They sit in the corner, and like clockwork, at the end of the convention, they always complain about making no sales. Like, dude, you're not even looking at people.
You have to be visible.
Home after I felt like saying you didn't engage anybody.
Not only do you have doing the convention circuit is genuine work. It's the customers aren't going to do the work for you, right? You have to have not only a good product, but you have to have a decent setup. At least display what you have in a way that pops, right? You don't have to spend tens of thousands of dollars on your setup, but you have to have something that is eye-catching in some form or fashion. You also have to be personable. You have to be approachable, right? So if you're just sitting there and your posture is such that I don't want to fricking talk to anybody, well, you know what's going to happen? No one's going to talk to you. You know what that means? Nobody's going to buy your stuff.
A smile will win you more sales than the best art ever.
Like I said, I listened to the Todd Father. I stayed in front of the booth. Me and Vaughn were good. We were bouncing off each other. When he was done with his riff, he would be like, "And this is my buddy John over here." And if you buy from both of us, we got this print over here for my buddy Andrew, who's transitioning and can't be here.
You son of a bitch.
And if the guy came over dressed as a furry, I said, "Oh, Andrew's here. He's a furry." And if you could guess who he is cosplaying as,
That's hysterical.
Yeah,
that riffing, that back and forth is a super helpful tool. I'm glad you had access to that on your first convention. You weren't just doing it alone, because I'll say from experience that myself and Caro over at the Rippaverse, we're kind of like a tag team. We're already kind of like brother and sister anyway. But we're kind of like a tag team at conventions because we're constantly like pitching each other's books to people. It's funny, like we probably pitch each other's stuff more than we pitch our own, but it winds up working out. And we wind up like selling a lot of our own work because of that. And one of the harder things to sell at conventions are large form posters. So like your 24 by 36 posters, because those are large items. And it's easier if you sell them in a like rolled up tube, right? But that's also more expensive for a lot of creators to get all of those, assets.
Smaller prints are better.
And shipping things. Small prints are easy to sell. That's why you see a lot of 8x10s, a lot of 11x17s, which is kind of your more standard print form. But at SpaceCon, which is, as I mentioned before, not a good convention for comic book creators, we sold a crap ton of Dirty Deeds #1, which is Caro's book at the
Well, did you sell them dirt cheap?
I've never heard that joke before once in my life.
That is the first time he's ever heard that joke.
First time ever.
I'm very clever that way.
He is never going to hear it again. That joke will never be heard again.
That book was our #1 selling item that entire weekend, and both of us sold a ton of each of we displayed on our tables. This is what I'm mentioning. This is what I was talking about earlier. We had our favorite versions of our posters displayed on the tables so that people could see the characters, like huge, blown up, 24 by 36, bright color, nice, paperweight and quality. And we sold a bunch of those. Traditionally, we have not sold posters worth crap at conventions.
So you're saying you had explosive sales. Explosive like TNT.
It's dynamite.
Did it have anything to do with?
I don't know where you live, but I am about to reach through this screen and throw something at you. It's gonna happen. But having
I did want to do posters
to bounce off of is really important.
I didn't want to do posters or anything like that because I figured people aren't going to buy posters of characters they don't know yet. Like I'm still too new. But that's something I'd like to do in the future. You know, poster like nobody bought my T-shirts. Nobody was $35 on a T-shirt for a character that I have no emotional connection. You know, but one guy did come back. The guy who was cosplaying as Loki. He bought. I basically talked him into buying my comic, and then later on he came back. He goes, I went to go get something to eat, and I sat, and he goes, I read all your comic, and he was like, what's gonna happen in this, and what's gonna, and it was really cool. He's like, I really like this. And I was like, you know, come back. I'm going to be doing my 3rd issue pretty soon, and Patriarch has been. But it was really cool to see that this guy actually went, read it, came back to talk to me and ask questions about like future plot points. That was a lot of fun.
You guys ever have a situation where, like, let's say you have like multiple issues of a comic, and it's like a 3-day con. Day 1, they buy issue 1, and by day 2 or 3, they're like, "Hey, I read it. I want to buy the rest of it." Have you guys ever have that happen to you?
Not yet, but that would be cool. You know, again, I only have 2 issues. You know, I only had 2 issues at the convention.
Yeah, it's
I wish I had my King Fu special. That would, if I just put that King Fu character, I think that character would have sold himself.
I'll say this, John, real quick. You mentioned, people don't want to buy a poster of a character they don't know anything about. That's a reasonable conclusion. However, it's not necessarily 100% accurate.
Yeah.
Because at SpaceCon, I was just saying that Kara and I were selling each other's posters like crazy. If you have a good character design, and you have a good character design with the Patriarch and a number of your other characters, right? King Fu and freaking Go-Getter. Hello, where's my one shot?
Yeah.
If you get, obviously, things don't come for free, but you commission a really nice poster of your characters and do a limited print run of those, bring those to conventions, lay one, display one out on the table, people will walk by and it will be eye-catching because I lost.
Maybe I will make a poster of all my characters, you know?
You absolutely should. And you should love your characters. Your characters have great classic designs that lean into classic archetypes. I love the inspiration behind them. And you should lean into that. I had so many people walking by and, their eye was caught by either Caro's poster for her character Arad, who's heavily influenced by things like Berserk, or my Zephyr, my Arcstream poster. I had a freaking electrical engineer walk by and comment on the design of the character because of some of the things that they saw on the poster. It was like, hey, they were like, hey, this, and this does this do that? I'm like, yeah, that's actually exactly what that does. And that's how I designed that character. I'm like, oh, how much is that poster? Like,
that's cool.
It's this, and I forget what my poster costs. I don't make the prices. I think it was like $25, and they were like, oh, I'll take one. And I was like, shit, I'll give it to you for 20.
Nick, I was looking forward to seeing the Patriarch Screecher card, that you're gonna make.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, we can always do it at some other time, but like,
there's always
it was a stretch goal. I was hoping I did really well, but I didn't do that well, unfortunately.
I'm gonna take off, guys.
All right, good seeing you, Fats. Thanks for coming in.
I think if you'll let me, I'll leave off with pitch number 6.
Okay.
You should do it.
Andrew, it's for something else.
Wow.
Dr. Ling. And
I thought you were gonna pitch me Wraith Crown right now.
I got plenty of time. We got 30 days of pitching Wraith Crown.
No, this is day one. Pitch me
Andrew,
now.
you've been missing this. He's been trolling me with bad pitches for the Crisis on Independent Earths, and I totally believed they were real. And I was like taking him aside, going, "Hey, Pats, I don't know if you're right for this project."
Keep in mind, this is pitch number 6. There's been development of the story.
Okay.
Dr. Ling meets an extremely bodacious woman at the hospital, Dr. Bing.
No.
It's love at first
Dr.
sight.
Babe.
Dr. Bing, excuse me. Several nights of passion, and Dr. Bing is pregnant. Only after days, she's already going into labor. Out comes their child. First name Doctor, middle name Bling. Last name? He won't earn that until he can prove to not be a disappointment to his father, Dr. Ling.
Oh my god.
Can Dr. Bling not disappoint his father as he rapidly grows by the day and finds himself at a church overrun by demons?
Oh my god!
Which I'm like, you mentioned the DM overrun by the demons. But all right, guys, have a good one. Back to Wraith Crown. I'm a fantastic writer, as you can tell. Later.
Yeah,
That ball ain't right.
I have a group chat for all the people that are participating in the Crisis on Independent Earth, and he was just putting these terrible pitches one after another, and I made a pledge that I was going to be as pleasant and as positive as possible, so I didn't want to say what I really thought. So finally, I'm talking to Vaughn at the convention. I'm like, I don't think Bat Sauce is getting what's going on, and Vaughn started laughing. He's like, he's trolling. So I was like, oh man. I was like, how the hell did this guy even write a novel? But I fell for it hook, line, and sinker. But
if you allow me, I do have a question for Andrew, if you can indulge me. Andrew, you're a person who does conventions a lot.
I'll happily answer if I can offer.
I think you should be able to answer this one. So I'm looking to upgrade my table set because right now a lot of my stuff is just like sat down on there or whatever. I want to go more vertical. You know, like where do you get the standees for like that you put the books on? Because like I've been looking and I found like a few places, but I'm trying to find where people find like kind of thing. Like where do you get your stuff from?
So you can get kind of generic ones on, I think, even Amazon, to be honest. But there are specialty ones that are obviously going to be a little more expensive that you can get from, and the names are escaping me right now because I'm not our operations manager, and so I don't handle that stuff. But there are specialty ones that are like more durable. They're going to be higher quality. Yes, they're going to cost a little bit more, but they're also going to last you a lot longer. And look a lot nicer. So as with anything, it's an investment. What you put into it is
what are they called? What are the names? Because like I need names to search, and I've been
you want what is it? You want vertical either. I think you can search them under just like vertical book displays, or vertical or you could try vertical comic book displays, but vertical book displays is probably good enough.
Yeah, guys had stuff that just snapped together. You know what I mean? I should have asked them where they got them from, but I wasn't thinking.
Because at a lot of these conventions, you'll see some of the more seasoned guys having like clear shelving that's like tiered shelving. Then you can like that, Then you can like stick your books right like vertically in there, and so they'll be staggered, right, and so it'll display really nice. And that's the kind of stuff you want to try and shoot for, or like shoot for eventually at the very least. Again, those displays are on the pricier side, so they're an investment. They're one of those things
I'm
that
willing
if you
to invest.
can get that,
willing to invest.
they're one of those things. If you can do it and make it work and make it make sense for you, you absolutely should. But if you can't in the immediacy, it's one of those things where like, look at the price, look at your budget, don't overspend if you don't have to, and just start setting aside and be like, okay, so each sale I make or each convention I do, I'm going to try and set aside X amount so that my goal is by whatever, this other convention that I'm already planning to go to, I'll be able to have these. For that, right?
Yeah, because I'm starting to get in the point of my career where it's like I'm starting to have like these novels, you know, like the trades and whatnot. So like I need a better way of displaying them. You know, I feel like I'm kind of getting to like the next level of comic book person or whatever.
Zactam7197 in the chat makes a good point as well. Like he says comics were meant to be sold on a spinner rack. Yes and no. I will say if you're going to conventions, having a spinner rack, if you have enough of a body of work to fill out a spinner rack, get a spinner rack.
Yeah.
If nothing else, then to put in like reader copies. Have like one issue of every book that you have, put them in a spinner rack and say, hey, when you're pitching to people, be like, hey, and if you want to take a look at the interiors and flip through some of my books, my body of work is like right here.
Portable newsstand where it's like a book, it was like a suitcase kind of thing, and they just kind of flicked it down, you know, and you know he had like it was kind of like that. He would be able to put comics in it. Like something like I would do something like that in a heartbeat. Like that was great for reader copies.
Yeah, you want to be able to display the work to people who are passing by. The quicker
Yeah,
you can show
Vaughn
them
had
the
these
interiors,
little-
the better.
Vaughn had these little flat stands that just go like that and held the comics, and he had a whole bunch of them. So he lent me some. That's the
Yeah.
kind of stuff I didn't think of. Like he thought of like a lot of little stupid things that I did. So that's why this was such a great experience, because. And here it is. I'm the 60-year-old guy, and he's the 14-year-old kid, and he was the one teaching. You know.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you could teach him about a number of things, but Vaughn has done like 85
those
conventions
with
in the
guy
last 2
dressed as
years.
Loki saying the Loki show sucked. I know.
That's okay. So this is actually something that I talk about frequently on any show that wants to have my nobody ask. It is incredibly important how you pitch your work and how you present yourself to potential fans, to potential customers. Anybody out there in the chat or watching this on the video on demand afterwards, if you are in the indie comic book sphere, all of us here are, it's important to at least give consideration to how you are pitching yourself.
Yeah.
If you pitch yourself as an alternative, which some people do, and some people have success with that, know that when you do that, you are actually planting all of the power, you are seeding all of the power into the hands of whatever you are purporting to be the alternative of. What do I mean by that? Take myself, for example. My character, Arcstream, he's a young, heart of gold superhero. He's a speedster. I modeled him after Superman, Spider-Man, and Sonic the Hedgehog, right? I don't market him as, hey, Flash comics suck right now.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Read my speedster comic, right?
Yeah.
There's a number of reasons for that. One, what happens when inevitably, and this has happened for several
He's
decades
a fan
now.
of the Flash. Coming to your booth.
Yeah, that's one of them. Absolutely. So what if this person like just happens to like the speedster archetype in general, right? And they're open to like, hey, cool, new speedster. I could get down with that. Tell me about him. But you lead with, hey, the Flash comics suck right now. Well, what if that guy likes the comics right now?
That's
Whether
why
or not
I
I do is irrelevant.
Right.
I am just trying
don't
to
wanna-
pitch it on
you
the
don't wanna
merit of the
insult-
work.
You don't want to insult, offend, or whatever. So like people are like, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "My comics are a love letter to classic Bronze Age Marvel."
And that's the best way to pitch that, as opposed
and I
to like,
said,
hey,
you know, and
Marvel's gotten away from how I think comic books should be, and
What
so
about
now I
going like
decide
the
to make
inspired by
this.
route? What do you think?
And
about,
that's
like,
fine. Inspired by is fine too. My character was inspired by Bronze Age or Silver Age heroes from this era or that era. That's all perfectly fine. The danger is saying, hey, this type of character's books suck right now, therefore you should read mine instead. Because what happens?
right, I did not want to start with a negative. I did.
One, in marketing, you don't want to start with a negative. Two, if that person disagrees with you and they're interested in speedsters in general, but you just insulted maybe one of their favorite books, you just turn them off and you lost a potential customer. The other part is, and this has happened through the decades, and as somebody who was reading comics through the 80s and 90s, I know this very acutely. Comic books go through ups and downs. Yeah. Inevitably, the pendulum swings back. So, yes, maybe Flash comics suck right now. What happens when Flash comics don't suck anymore and they're good again? Yeah. If the only reason I gave for somebody to read my speedster is saying Flash comics suck right now, well, I don't have the Flash. My character will never be the Flash. The Flash is the gold standard. Like, I can't compare to that. So if the only reason I gave them to read mine was because this gold standard sucks at the moment, if that gold standard is good again, well, what reason do they have to stick with mine? And you could make the argument like, oh, well, the merit of your work should have been able to keep them there. Well, then the merit of the work should have been the reason you pitched it to them in general. Right? In the first place.
And they also kind of run into the situation of like, okay, Arcstream is inspired by Flash. Why should I read Arcstream instead of the Flash? You know, what is it about your character that stands out? Why you know, like, yes, I can choose both Flash and Arcstream, but why should I choose both Flash and Arcstream? Why should I buy both? You know, it's like
I always telling people, like, issue 1 features the patriarch. He's my loving tribute to Superman, but he's a beloved husband, father, superhero. People, and then the couple of guys that come over and like, they heard me. He homeschools, he homesteads, and like one guy's like, oh man, I homeschool, and we were talking about that. This guy bought all my comics. Who knows what's going to catch him? But I just wanted to let him know, like, this is a loving tribute. I didn't want to say, hey, Marvel sucks right now because it's all woke. Well, you know what? Half these people will walk around with blue hair and nose rings. Yeah. You know what I mean? I must have sold 75% of my comics to people whose politics is diametrically opposed to mine. But
same.
But I think I buried my politics in my comic. You know what I mean? Like,
that's
I'm
the
sure
thing. Your beliefs.
Preacher's Batman inspired, and I don't shy away from that. You know, but it's like, yeah, it's fine. And it's the same thing. I've sold many a copy to Preacher to blue hairs. Kind of thing.
Your beliefs and the things that you hold most dear ideologically will ultimately bear out in your work in some way, shape, or form. The trick is for it to not to overpower the work.
Correct.
That way, people who are reading it can get some sense of who you are without feeling like they're being told what they should think.
Yeah.
And if they end up gleaning information via your story because you're telling stories with universal truths about hope, about optimism, about love, about being selfless, about being responsible towards your fellow man, all of these positive things, then that's going to help paint their perspective in a better light. Right? And that's going to give them a positive outlook on you as a creator. And ultimately, look at how society got to where it is today. If we want to talk about the woke stuff and all of that, well, that's because they seeped into the media, right? And they went through entertainment. Well, without deliberately necessarily going in the exact opposite direction, the trick to coming back to a reasonable center and just getting people to understand universal truths, positive things, good moral standing, having empathy and compassion, selflessness, and all of these things, optimism. You do that through storytelling. You do it through organic storytelling. And that's absolutely something that's achievable. We just have to make sure that we're doing it and doing it with the right mindset, right? It doesn't do us anything positive to say, well, the mainstream has for so many years now been, inundating us with this politics and that politic and this ideology and that ideology. And while that may be true, and it is, just going into the other side of the coin of that isn't how you effectuate change. What you do is just give people good stories that happen to have those lessons layered in there just enough under the surface that it seeps into people. And then they're filled with that sense of optimism and selflessness and empathy. And that's how you effectuate.
We've been on for almost 3 hours now, and I am actually getting tired. So we're gonna round it up. So we'll start with Nick, and we'll go around. Nick, is there anything you want to say before we close out?
All right. So thank you everyone for joining me. Andrew, John, I apologize for the countless times I interrupted you.
You're good.
We get excited.
Well, I'm taking responsibility. So if you like what I had to say and you want to know more, I'm Nick Gibson. I do the comic book Screecher. We just did this. You can catch me at Monroe Comic-Con in Monroe, Michigan next month. And then this October, I'll be launching Project Axis issues 1 and 2 on Kickstarter. So that's pretty swell. And then, this will be shipping out sometime next week at the latest. So, shipping out to my distributor. So, if people who order this will be getting their book here soon. That link through takes to all my good stuff.
Cool. Arkham, you got anything you want to?
Back up the Christmas special. It's there.
Yeah. Well, Arkham is one of my artists. He's hard at work at one of my stories. So it's probably looking like it'll be in Heroic Tales 5, maybe 5 or 6, because I got up to 4 planned already. But so we'll see about that. Oh man, It's so good. Nobody draws squiggly monsters like Arkham. That's what got him the job. I was like, you draw squiggly monsters. I got a squiggly monster story for you. Totally inspired by Dungeons and Dragons. I can't wait to share it with you.
Oh,
Andrew,
I'm here for that.
Yeah, Andrew. Yeah, I'll pitch my stuff when it's my turn. Andrew.
Good.
First off, I want to pitch to you. Tell Kara, she liked the Linda Davers Supergirl. So I told her that the Fallen Angels was a continuation of that, and she read it, loved it.
Yeah, the Peter David stuff. Yeah.
So she's got to come back. We got to talk about that because, as far as I know, she's the only other person who ever read that comic besides me. I love that comic.
Well, I also did.
You did? You liked it? Okay. So all three of us will come on. We'll talk about it. But anyway,
I'm a massive Supergirl fan. Unfortunately, I also watched the movie. But
you were one of 5 people who actually did. So
5.5. But yeah, thank you everybody in the chat for hanging out with us. Thank you for supporting the stream. Thank you for backing Von Coleman's Phenomenova issue 5. Look forward to that. Vaughn is such a young and talented creator. And he's been super supportive of everybody that's around him. I
owe a lot to him.
Is super supportive of John, of Nick, of myself, of a number of other creators. It's wonderful to see that kind of positivity in the indie comic sphere, especially because a lot of people would have you believe that indie comics is filled with nothing but miserable people who hate each other.
I hate all of you guys. I hate each and every one of you.
And it doesn't have to be that way, right? We can uplift each other, and I love seeing it. If you are interested, I do have a comic book of my own. It's called Arcstream. Arcstream False Start is the name of the first arc of a three-part series. You can find that on rippaverse.com/pre-order. Issues 1 and 2 are available to pre-order. He's a heart of gold classic superhero, very flashy in terms of his design. Very quippy in terms of his personality, very sassy in terms of his personality. So he's got both sides of the Peter Parker and Spider-Man and Sonic the Hedgehog bit there. So check that out if you like fun, high octane comic books.
Does Arcstream like corn dog? Does Arcstream like chili dogs?
Yes, he does actually.
Sold.
He very deliberately does. There are some subtle and less subtle Sonic the Hedgehog call-outs within my series.
I'm buying it.
I didn't get it. Is corn dogs a Sonic the Hedgehog thing?
Sonic the Hedgehog traditionally loves chili dogs. It's a thing, and I do have that a little bit.
A good person. I mean,
yes,
chili
exactly.
dogs is one of the most nature's perfect food.
It's actually a ridiculously perfect combination. I agree.
John, if you ever come to Michigan, I'm gonna get you a Michigan pony dog.
There you go.
So I'm John. I'm sure I'm streaming on. Well, I was on Vaughn's stream. I'm on Nick's stream. I'm John from John's Longbox. I have Heroic Tales. I got Heroic Tales issue 1 and 2, and now I have Heroic Tales 3. I'm sorry. I'm getting sleepy, so as you can see, I'm messing up. But I have Heroic Tales 1 and 2, and the Christmas special. You can get them all right now on a bundle at Kickstarter, or you could go to Fund My Comic. Fund My Comics is going to ship first. I just got to okay the proof. How about that? The campaign's still running, and I'm going to start shipping out books because I'm a crazy person like that.
Beautiful.
Heroic Tales is a love letter to Bronze Age Marvel. Issue 1 features the patriarch. He's a husband, father, superhero, and unlike Omni-Man, which people compare him to, he actually likes his family. He loves his children. He loves his city. He's a good guy. Issue 2 debuts Mary Sue, the world's most perfect girl, and perfection causes its own problems, as you'll see. Issue 3 will finish her story and explain to you without a couple of people are like, what exactly happened? Issue 3 is going to clear it up. You're going to see exactly what she did and how her powers are going to be her biggest problem. I love a flawed superhero. Like, I don't, they're good, but I don't like the. Well, I do like the DC.
Oh yeah, if your comics, if your characters don't have flaws, then they're not particularly interesting.
Yeah,
right?
One person was on a stream with me and they said, "Oh, my character is the most powerful superhero in the world. They could beat your character. I was like, well, are they interesting?
Well, that doesn't make them interesting.
right. Yeah. That doesn't make them interesting. So I said, no offense, but that sounds like something a 7-year-old would make up. My dad could beat up your dad.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
John, I hate to tell you, but the patriarch would curb Tom Screecher without even trying. Your character is more powerful than my character.
yeah. Well, I mean, wait till you see some of the
And
weaknesses.
our stream would run circles around Screecher.
Right.
Okay?
Wait till you see some of the weaknesses some of my guys have. Like, you know, I don't want to spoil it, but Captain Atlas, who's probably the most powerful superhero of all time, has the worst weakness in the world. You do not want to be him. You know,
Coming up
Can't
with good
talk-
weaknesses
you
for
can't talk to
characters
girls.
that have powerful powers is like one of the most interesting parts about creation
Right.
when it comes to
Right.
characters. Because otherwise your characters are kind of just bland. And you can work coming up with a good weakness, specifically a good weakness for your character that has superpowers is one of the best things you could possibly do as a creator, because it gives you so much free storytelling.
right?
That's the whole appeal of Spider-Man. Spider-Man can lift a Bradley Abrams tank without breaking a sweat, but he can't pay rent.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
That's
I-
the
I-
whole reason why Spider-Man is literally probably the most popular superhero today.
Yeah, he
right.
is.
The public guy. His weakness is he has the most punchable face. Right. Steven Silhouette just has been making meme after meme after meme of people punching the public guy in the face. You're gonna feel bad, Steven, when you finally find out the public guy's actual weakness. You're gonna feel terrible. No, he won't. Steven's got no heart. But anyway, if you can, please consider backing the Christmas special. It's going to be shipping soon, and I'll be remiss in my duty if I didn't say that I also have here it is right here. I'll bring this up. A TeePublic store. I'm trying to raise funds because it's going to be expensive to make this Crisis on Independent Earths. What is it? It's not a multiverse. It's kind of not a crossover, but it's ultimately it's a catalog for everybody in independent comics to show off your wonderful world, and it's getting a lot of enthusiasm. It's getting a lot of people. It's getting really big, so big that Aaron Sparrow is volunteered to help me organize it and edit it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and
Aaron's
my promise
fantastic.
is
I
that
love
it's
Aaron.
going to be in your hand by a year from now. At barring an extinction level event, that this will be in your hand a year from now.
Is it
You
the
know?
same artist that's drawing the whole thing, or is it different artists on
No.
each
What it
story?
is me, Oscar, and Renzo are doing the opening, the overarching story. So we're going to have between 15 and 20 pages
Okay.
responsible from me, and then everybody's participating. Their team is making their own comics. So when you get to page 11, it's going to be arc stream by NDA Andrew and whatever, and then on the bottom it'll say copyright owned by Andrew. I'm making it clear that we're not, because before these rumors start, I'm clearing up all of this stuff, and then
Right.
at the back of the book it's going to be like, did you like arc stream? Get it here. Did you like Screecher? Get it here. You know what I mean? And then we're thinking of putting a plate in the front of like autographs, so when you get a book, you go to conventions.
Oh,
you
that's
bring
a
it
cool
with you.
idea.
We're going to make a big poster of all our characters, but it's to show off. So a couple of people said that, oh, you have permission to draw my guy. Like, no. You're doing, if this is Screecher, I want this to be what Screecher's going to be. So when somebody looks at this, they go, I really like this. And then they look at the book and it's the same. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a catalog that you don't realize it's a catalog because it's a complete story. And everybody's segment, I want it to be like Heather Valley's comic is in black and white. She goes, should I color it? I said, well, that's up to you, but we're trying not to confuse your audience. So if you do a 3-4 page story in black and white, that's what you're like. Brian Bow's Wolf and Batsy, that's in black and white. It would be weird for it to be colored over here and then black and white in your own book. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it is. We're selling our comics. So when I go to a convention, I have a catalog of the best people in indie comics. Here you go, check this out. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. I love that.
We're going to try to get a group rate to print as much as possible so we can sell it as cheap as possible. And the cost to you guys is only the 3 or 4 pages. The cost to me is going to be about 26 pages.
I have a pitch. So it's a 4-page comic. The first page, the character literally encounters an enemy, that sucks the color out of the comic. So like halfway through, you start to see the color literally suck from the comic. So that way the next 3 pages are in black and white. And he's like, can't catch me. And then he goes into a sock drawer. He falls in the sock drawer, and that leads him into the main story.
It's your universe. So Brian Bow's universe is in black and white. You know what I mean? It's
I'm sorry, I'm just being creative right now.
Yeah, it's so that's like Elazmat. He's drawing his own 3 pages because he draws whatever, and it's made in such a way that I don't want to contaminate your universe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I made strict rules that my characters don't show up in your pitch because you know what I mean? Like, so, and you could choose to reference this, like Horace H. Hoover. He says he wants to use this stringboard for one of his stories. Tonic Ball for Saving the Universe. He's like, oh, your book is already part of my book. You don't know it already. You know what I mean? Because his book is about jumping through different dimensions and back and forth through time. So whatever, I'm really curious what he's going to do. And then like Heather Valley, we were really strict. Well, not strict, but we were really. I didn't want to ruin her non-superhero world with my crazy superhero stuff. So I think she made a really good, complete story that shows off her world and doesn't contaminate it. Like none of my stuff pollutes her world. And then Oni did a good, Woodrow did a good funny one. I'm trying to think who somebody else did a really funny one. Galaxy Memorial Park did a really sweet pitch. I don't want to spoil it, but I really, and then Dave Brink. Guys, I'm telling you right now, there's going to be 100 pages in this book. You're buying it for Dave Brink. He, and everybody says, oh, is he putting Perfect 10 in there? Yes. And every freaking character he ever created in 5 pages, all over the world, superheroes.
In 5 pages?
Yeah, it's 3 to 5 pages. His 5 pages, like, I got to compete with Dave Brink's 5 pages. You know what I mean?
Well, is he going to have Alan Goldman drawing them?
I don't know. It's either going to be Powell Roderick, which is awesome, or
Powell Roderick's. Holy crap!
Yeah,
too talented as hell, guys.
Oh, telepathic Bunny's going to be in there. He's got his pitch for community service. And thanks everybody for popping in. Thanks for everybody. This was a spur of the moment. I was like I said,
fun.
Yeah. So at that. Yeah, you can accomplish a lot with 16 panels a page.
If you want your artists to yeet themselves out of the 16th story window,
my artist hates me. My artist hates me.
Unless you're Nick Dragotta, nobody's drawing 16 panels a page.
No. They resurrected George Perez, and they're paying him a crap ton of money.
He wasn't even drawing 16 panels a page. He was just drawing 6 panels, but then like 65 characters a panel.
But like each character was like fully drawn and had unique facial expressions.
I gotta be
don't know why. I like George loved drawing those panels too. It's like crazy.
But this book, the main story is a love letter to Kirby, to Starlin, to George Perez, to the wonderful. I don't want to spoil it because I'm proud of the ending. It's going to be pretty good. It's a lot of fun. So if I talk too much, I'll start spoiling the ending. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Shush.
Yeah, I remember those pages. It was just.
Tom King doesn't do 16 panels. He thinks he's Alan Moore, and so he does 9-panel grids of symmetrical boxes of the exact same face.
But are all of Tom King's...
He wastes talent like freaking Clayman, which
are all of Tom King's script completely in all caps? And it's like, I think it would be really cool if we did this. Like, have you seen Alan Moore's scripts? They're terrible.
Yeah, it could be done. I've seen Matt Wagner. He did 32 panels a page in an issue of Grendel, and it worked. There was small little, but
I don't think any of us are Matt Wagner though.
Yeah, but that was experimental. I wouldn't want to see it in every comic. But anyway, thank you everybody. Thank you for staying up late. This was a spur of the moment thing. Thank you panel. Thank you Andrew and Bats and Arkham and Nick and Vaughn, everybody for showing up. This was a lot of fun. Thank you chat. And tomorrow, I will be live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for It's Clobbering Time. We're going to talk about Deathstroke versus the Terminator. Saturday, I'll return at 10 a.m. doing my Avengers Assemble. Sunday, 10 a.m., I'll be doing Sunday Comics, where I'm going to continue with the Fantastic Four. Anybody have any streams they want to pitch? Nick, you stream.
So tomorrow I'll be doing a stream about James Bond video games. A buddy of mine literally wrote a book about it. So gonna go on, give him some promo. Saturday, gonna be starting my Final Fantasy VII Remake stream. Sunday, playing some more Skyrim again. And then Tuesday, I do my request stream. So lots of good stuff.
And Arkham, you have your own channel, Arkham's Attic. Don't forget to pitch that. And Andrew, you got any streams coming up or anything?
Caffeinated Wolf on YouTube and Twitch. I do gaming streams typically Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday on my own channels. Foil Variant here on YouTube. You can find my new comic book review channel streams with my buddy Spencer. However, I will be taking a hiatus this weekend and next weekend from my usual streaming schedule because I have some fun personal matters to attend to.
Personal matters.
And I don't mean fun in a sarcastic manner. I mean fun as a delightful manner. So.
We will leave on
your
fun
face.
personal matters.
That's good.
So thanks a lot, everybody. And at this, we'll say goodbye, kids.